Hello, we're live. Hopefully you guys can hear us.
Agents had technical difficulties and he ran late. He literally just joined this VC like less than a minute ago. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Which is why we're not going to start off the day inspired. So I'm blaming Agents, and everyone else can blame Agents. We have no inspiration today. However,
no inspiration.
I can offer you some inspiration right now. How about this? I will do it straight from my mouth. Here we go. I will go to Inspirobot myself and generate a quote.
We're going to get copyright claim because of Dobbs now. Actually, as long as you don't play the music, it should be fine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Repeat this to yourself. I am healthy. I am healthy. I am healthy.
Hope you're all feeling inspired now. Start feeling healthy.
Don't explore your body, just confront your body.
Jesus.
Ignore the connection between your bodily orifices and the universe. To achieve the right state, meditate on these words of wisdom. Unexpected self-esteem disintegrates unexpectedly. So true. Contemplate that sins make people look paranoid. Oh, that's so true.
Okay.
Keep in mind that those that intensify security fear the economy.
Did Dobbs become the motivation bot? He's just decided to do it.
Meditate on this very old proverb. With impressive salvation comes impressive strength. Just keep on breathing. And that's it. Thank you very much for listening.
Hope you're all feeling inspired now. You should be feeling inspired after what Dobbs has just done for you all. He didn't have to do that, he took the initiative. Alright, well, hope you're all doing well.
I just pulled up Inspirobot, because, you know, that's just it.
And first bit of content that we're reacting to. It's actually a Spectrum post. We haven't done a Spectrum post in a while. And this one's a good one. It's a short one. But I think it's worth reacting to.
Oh god, I hate Spectrum posts.
Alright, so there's a link to it there if you haven't seen it yet or not. And here we go.
Is my microphone peaking in the audio again? I swear to god, if it is, then I'm going to be upset.
It is. And let me check something, because there should be a filter stopping that. So somehow your microphone has gotten louder on Gilded, because it should be preventing it from peaking that much.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, let me see if I can fix that. -10. Alright.
By the way, Agents, I know we probably can't talk about this live on stream, but I'm just going to say it anyways. I am serious about that stream idea that we were talking about yesterday in org chat. I feel like that would be so funny if you were to actually do that.
Yeah, I have no recollection of what you're talking about.
That's alright, I can mention it afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I've been in half a dozen conversations in the last couple of hours, so fucking my brain is all over the place at the moment. But here we are, and we're here to read a Spectrum post. So, yeah, Xeno threat, or XT, is not fun when people camp, kill and grief those trying to complete the event.
Sounds like a fucking skill
Skill
issue,
issue.
right, guys? Oh my god, fucking walked right into that one.
Alright, this is from Kuro Numa. It just isn't. This has happened half a dozen times and I'm sick of it. Half a dozen is only 6. Trying to enjoy a fun, cooperative combat event and trying to make the best of server lag and instability, only to be ambushed and killed by people hanging around in the asteroid field looking for easy targets who can't fight back.
Can't fight back.
That's because PvE players don't use weapons. They don't get to use weapons. Getting set back up to do stuff is stupidly long, tedious, and frustrating. Spending around 40 minutes waiting for the claim timer, try to spawn ships, fight buggy Mobilglass UI, and flying to the event. The setup process is so lengthy and problematic. Fucking tedious. That's right. That's right, Baron. Tedious. I should make a little like fucking tedious bloody thing for OBS.
Fucking griefers. Fucking griefers.
Griefers get rewarded the moment they kill you. They get their enjoyment out of ruining your time and play session, and as a bonus, they know.
Goddamn right.
They know the game system will punish you. All because you tried to cooperate and have fun in a PvE event. No amount of PvP preparedness, crime stat, or space prison sentence will ever change this fact. Griefers get what they want, and you don't. It's not fun.
Yes,
what
we,
a
yes,
fucking
we do.
Suck. 109 sooks upvoted this. 109 sooks upvoted this fucking shit. Picard
now,
palm
agents,
that.
can you please enlighten the rest of the chat and on what is a sook?
Sook? You don't know what a sook is? Oh, yeah. Somebody who likes to cry. Soft. Has a sooky lala. A whinger. Having a whinge. A crybaby. So yeah, make sure you get on that post and Picard palm that. 109 fucking sooks complaining that Xenothreat is not fun when people camp, kill, and grief those trying to complete the event. Well, you know, Xenothreat's supposed to be a team-based event, so if you got a couple of people going around, flying around, killing everyone, you go team up and go kill them. You know, that's what...
So fun.
Like, them talking about spending 40 minutes waiting for a claim time. What, you can't fucking expedite your ship? Like, unless the ship that you're expedited has a 40-minute claim timer on it, in which case you're probably using the wrong fucking ship.
Yeah, dumbass.
Trying to spawn ships, fight buggy Mobilglass UI, and fly into the event. Like, you set up at fucking Michael 1, it takes fucking 10 minutes max. If you're taking around 40 minutes to get your shit together, your body just struggling as it is to play Star Citizen and worrying about PvP guys. Worrying about fucking PvP players is, you know, the least of your issues there. It's not that fucking hard.
And like people, like it's really funny seeing people complain about these issues and like talking about their experiences. Like a lot of the problems that they're seeing, like with fucking having to do all this shit and waiting all this long, like dude, that's a fucking player problem, or that's like an individual problem. It's not a fucking player problem. It's not a griefer problem. It's not a fucking design problem. Like no, that's just you just not playing the game correctly or in the most efficient way possible. So to sum it all up,
well, it's not them trying to play it. It's not them trying to play the game. It's them being upset that the game doesn't play the way that they want. That's it. Like, the game doesn't go the way that they want, so they're upset. It's like, fucking eat a bag of dicks. You gotta learn to play the game that's put in front of you, not fucking sit there and cry about the game not being the way that you want until it's the way that you want it to be.
But agents, I want to just hang around with the people that I've played video games with since high school and fucking go in and shoot NPC husks of ships that barely move or shoot at anything, and I want to call it a day. That's it.
Okay, cool. Fucking guess what? You're gonna be playing an environment. If you want to do it in this game, you're going into an environment where that can be shat on by someone else. That's it. That's
Griefers.
reality.
Go, Griefers. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's fucking main. Yeah, Thorn's right. It's main character fucking syndrome. They're the best because they're the main character in their little fucking story. It's like, no, you're not. But you're in a fucking virtual environment with other people who have other motivations and they can do whatever the fuck they want as long as it's within the game rules. And whilst Xenothreat is not structured to be a PvP event in the sense that you can join Xenothreat, you know, and have a legit mission against those PvE players, Star Citizen is closer to a sandbox environment that allows players to pick and choose the objectives that they want, irrespective of the existence of a, you know, curated or generated or, you know, designed mission. Nobody tells us to go out and do piracy. We choose to do that.
Fucking just lumping all of like the players that shoot at another player as like griefers, like that is that's never gonna go away. It's just so funny. Like, hey, you shoot at me, you're griefing me.
Yeah. Fucking.
It's like any sort of disruption in your game is considered as griefing, and griefing is considered a bannable offense by CIG's TOS, dude. Use your terms and labels more responsibly, sir. You are just not being genuine here.
And here's the thing, if you're not having fun doing Xenothreat, then don't fucking do it. Because it already sounds like this entire, you know, setup process that they're going through. Like, okay, cool. CIG locks the event down so that you can only do PvE there. Somehow they make it so that ship weapons don't, you know, player ship weapons don't damage each other, and they make it completely griefer proof. If a server is running at the fucking tick rate that it's supposed to, which is 30 FPS, guess what? You're gonna get fucking smashed by the AI, because the AI is actually good on a server that has a high frame rate. And if you can't fucking handle players shooting at you, you're not going to be able to deal with the AI doing some funky backflips and bloody, you know, ganging up on you and your bloody Care Bear mates, because you're all fucking main character syndroming your way through the event. So you're all trying to do, you know, your thing in a group together but still separate. So you're not actually trying to work together as a team, you're all just trying to complete the same objectives but as individuals, because you're the hero of your story. And then you get clapped by the fucking AI because at 30 frames a second they're actually really good, and instead of fucking focusing on getting better at combat, you come to Spectrum and you have a fucking whinge.
I wouldn't be surprised if this guy plays epic battle music in the background when he fights people like I do.
Like, it's just ridiculous, really. Like, just the mentality that's happening that keeps coming up. It's going to keep coming up. And, you know, like, this sort of mentality, these sorts of complaints killed Elite Dangerous. It just took the danger out of Elite. And it just turned Elite Dangerous from bloody Elite Dangerous into Elite.
Not even elite. Like, you took the dangerous and you took the elite out of it.
Well, yeah, you took the danger out of it. You made everybody elite, which means that everybody's now average. So it's just fucking average. The ultimate griefers.
Derwan. Oh shit, man, that's funny.
But where's this? What are you laughing at, Dobbs? I'm not seeing anything.
So Derwan just posted a message in the org comms and tagged me, basically, you know, adding on to the point I made about epic battle music, and he sent me a song from Super Mayrocrat, saying that this would be this person's background music.
I just caught up. It's in Mongol Squad's bloody internal comms.
Honestly, this shit's a banger, bro. I'd listen to this during a fucking fight. You kidding me?
It's harder to kill players during Xenothreat because the event trashes the frame rate. No, not for griefers. Griefers get 60 FPS regardless of where you're at. I don't know if you guys realize this, but griefers have a different client that they use.
Yeah. If you take the griefer side, you get more FPS. You get more optimized gameplay, more features and content. You get early access to 4.0 and server meshing. You get a personalized 15-minute phone call with Chris Roberts once a week. And yeah, you get autographs.
He calls you
as well.
He calls you. You don't have to call. You don't have to call him.
Just take the griefer side, okay?
Yeah,
just grief players. You'll get all the bells and whistles that the rest of us get. It's great.
All right, what are the top? What's the? What? This could not be. This page the page you were looking for was not found. Hold up. We're gonna double check something here. I don't think this is deleted.
I mean, I still have it.
Yeah. Let me double check something. Because I'm pretty sure I changed RSI accounts quickly to sort something out. And that might be why this wigged out.
He's watching the stream and he's like, fuck, delete, go back!
Oh my god, they were right. I was wrong the whole time. I'm just being a little bitch. Oh man. Yes, it didn't get deleted. I was doing some admin prior to the start of the stream, but after I'd actually found this Spectrum post, and that's what caused this to fuck out.
He was gonna leak private information on Spectrum.
That's right. At least I don't do it in Gilded, where Dobbs can kick me from the bloody server.
What?
What?
You want to run that by me again?
Said at least I didn't do it on Gilded, where you could kick me from the server.
I can do that? Wait, hold on.
No, you can't. I'm making a joke, Dobbs. Clearly I'm not being sarcastic enough.
Listen, I just
wanted
wanted to
put a
make
bit
sure I
more
was following
sarcasm
through.
in there.
I just want to make sure I was following through. That's it.
Yeah. Alright, here we are. I've got it back. It's here. Alright, so we're sorted by top. Here we go. 74 upvotes. Investigate. Yeah, unfortunately, that's where Xenothreat is right now. The moment someone shows up with the intent to ruin it, they win. Cargo ships must be very vulnerable for long periods of time to pick up the packages, and, well, someone intent on ruining the event has an easy time doing so with no recourse at all.
You're so dumb!
It's unfortunate, and we just have to sit back and wait for them to get bored before trying to participate again. Clearly, there are those on this forum that find it hilarious and are bashing you for expressing your concern, which is just sad, but that's where we are right now. What a little bitch. Fucking having another whinge about...
Like, literally, cargo ships are vulnerable? Fucking no, they're not. As long as you have enough people and you know what you're fucking doing, they're not as vulnerable as you're fucking making it out to be.
Here's the thing though, your cargo ships, if you're doing Xenothreat, you're doing it legit, you shouldn't be leaving the cargo ships alone. You should have fighters staying close by, because Xenothreat, the fucking AI, will attack your cargo ships as well. And because
the fucking payout from the cargo doesn't warrant me hiring or finding friends that would protect me. I can't pay them enough to make it worth it.
It's in the interest of everybody trying to complete Xenothreat to work together, irrespective of a financial outcome. But here's the thing though, is that the reason why you do that is because those who are loading up the cargo have no fucking idea who's going to be attacking them anyway. So all they fucking know, they got bloody blown up by the AI. And they're sitting there going, fucking griefers killed me. And it's like, you're doing a fucking event where there's hostile AI and they will shoot at ships. They don't care if you're sitting in the fucking chair or not of the ship. They don't care if you're in the pilot seat. They just see your ship and they go, oh, I'm just going to destroy it. Just like those fucking griefers do. Like, do they? This is why, you know, a lot of the time, buddy, there's a lot less respect towards the PvE community, because you got fucking tards like this who seem to forget that the AI also attack them. Like, and they keep making accusations, oh, it's players, you know, always attacking us. It's those fucking PvPers, you know, those fucking griefers. And it's like, I've watched players get killed by the AI, and then they start going off in chat, calling them out by the AI name, calling out that AI and telling them that they're going to get fucking banned for bloody attacking them in an armistice zone. And it's like, are you fucking serious? That was an AI. Players can't shoot at you in an armistice zone. The AI can, though. It's like, the CIG is still partially to blame for this though, because they don't fucking educate the community well enough on how the AI behave. It's ridiculous. And, you know, as I was saying before, the reason why a lot of the PvE community don't get a lot of respect from the PvP community is because they fucking start firing off straight away from the hip, accusing players of being griefers and attacking them, when it was, you know, 9 times out of 10 it's a fucking AI.
Briefing! Let's go! Woo!
It's not unfortunate that that's where Xenothreat is right now. It's fucking retarded that these people can't be bothered to bloody step up and actually, you know, take some accountability for their own gameplay. That's what this is.
They have no idea what that is.
Fucking spoon-fed. That's what they want. They want their fucking content spoon-fed.
Being massively multiplayer in a massively multiplayer online game for an event that's designed for being massively multiplayer. Fucking dumbasses.
But yeah, like, I don't understand how this person is taking so long to get their shit together to go to an event. It doesn't really take that long. And everybody's having to fight the fucking buggy UI and the shit frame rates. Everyone.
Dude, like, I'm not saying fucking Xenothreat is perfect. Like, there's definitely issues with it, right? But this isn't one of them at all. Like, fucking PvPers and griefers, like, are you fucking kidding me? This is what you're choosing to talk about?
You gotta look forward to when CIG fucking is able to get server frame rates running at 30 FPS consistently enough that during these types of events, the PvE players show up, no PvP players go there, and they just get fucking wrecked. And then CIG turns around and says, well, it just sounds like a skill issue, you know? Maybe you should all work together. join an org. Party up.
Yeah, join a fucking, like, holy shit, dude. Like, looking at these people, too. Hang on a second. I'm doing it. The people that are fucking complaining about this, right? They're in orgs that are like less than 24 people, or just over like a handful of people, like 14 to 35 members. It's like, and you have to think like attendance records, right? Amongst those people, maybe fucking, I don't know, 30% of them maybe like completely fucking active like all the time. So you're looking at like in these orgs like maybe a group of 5 people. 5 to 7 people.
That's enough to fill them. You know, you can take out a Connie, a couple of turret gunners, and a couple of fighters, and all group up. You know, defend the Connie. Go and load up the Connie. Like, fucking not hard at all. But it doesn't work because they're all got fucking main character syndrome, so they're all going to take out their own constellations. And they're all going to go to separate wrecks, and they're all going to load up their fucking boxes.
Yeah, like fucking find an active org or make one and reinforce yourself with numbers so you can actually do these kinds of activities and succeed. As opposed to the alternative where you're going in there either by yourself or with a small amount of people and you get fucking wrecked by people that are more skilled and more prepared than you are before fucking going to Spectrum and complaining that the fucking game is rigged against you because of, oh my god, these goddamn griefers.
Yeah, well, Motar, it's just gameplay for Xenothreat at the moment is just shit anyway, but CIG's doing it on purpose because they're collecting metrics.
It's just to be clear, like, it's fine if you don't want to join a guild, or it's fine if you don't want to join an organization. That's fine. You can play this game by yourself or with a tiny group of friends. That's fine. But don't fucking go to these events, get shat on by a fucking larger and more skilled group, and then go and complain that the game isn't fucking fair. You just have to fucking accept the fact that there are some things in this game that you will not be able to do based on your playstyle. And groups that do want to do those things and prepare themselves accordingly are going to do better than you. That is just a fact of the matter. And that's what people need to understand. And the point still isn't getting across.
The game just needs to be finished. Once it's finished, you'll start seeing that point being reinforced. But until then, like, we're just gonna have to keep dealing with this shit and hope that CIG doesn't fucking go the way of bloody Frontier Development and bloody kowtow to these fucking Care Bears. Alright, I think that's enough of this one.
CIG and Star Citizen, they're not like exclusively designing for huge groups. Like they make gameplay loops and make mission content that are designed for solo players or limited numbers. And again, bring that back to my point. It's like, cool, you can do those activities by yourself and be successful. Great. But when you go into activities and areas that are designed for group play, either solo or with limited numbers, expecting to succeed against people that are more skilled and better prepared than you are, and then you get fucking rolled. It's like, don't start complaining that the game is unfair and rigged against you.
No, it's not. Like, you're given the same tools that everybody else is given to fucking set yourself up for success. If you choose not to use them, because it is a choice, if you choose not to use them, that is on you and no one else. Alright, we're moving on to the next bit of content. This one is going to be a YouTube video. And I'll grab the link for you guys now. Right. Alright, there it is. Man, I need another monitor. Alright, so this one we found. It wasn't suggested by anybody, we actually found it. I thought it was going to be an interesting video. So, let's see, let's make sure it gets up and running, and...
Do you only have 2 monitors, Agents?
Yes, I've only got 2. Actually, I have 3, but the third one is actually hooked up to my other PC, which I don't really use.
Was I muted for that sequence? Like after you switch scenes, I just realized I was muted. I don't know how long I was muted for.
After what sequence? I could hear you for most of it.
I made like one final point about fucking solo gameplay and group gameplay and shit like that. I may have been muted for it.
No, yeah, you were still coming across.
Okay.
Anyway, so the next video that we're reacting to, well, the first video of the stream that we're reacting to comes from Marcus. I had his last name and I can't see it here. Marcus Wynn. There we go. It's from Marcus Wynn. I'm gonna come over here to the reaction scene, and it says, I was accused of hacking and Star Citizen by some players. There's a whole bunch of names there.
Hacking!
Right. So yeah, I'm interested in actually watching this video. Marcus actually watches Mongol Squad content as well. He's commented in a few of our videos before in the past.
Interesting.
So, let's see what Marcus's story is.
Alright guys, so one thing I'm going to tell you guys is don't let anybody play with your name. You know what I mean? And that is important because with a game like Star Citizen, with the community being this small, making accusations, even if they are as jokes, even if you are trying to get a rise out of somebody, it's not the way to do it, right? And Agents Lady has already talked about it at length of players using CIG or weaponizing CIG to get players either banned or strikes against their account for violating TOS, right? So why am I saying all this? It's because like during a PlayStation I just had, I was accused of cheating. Full disclaimer, I did start this fight, right? I did start this. I shot at the guy's ship first, but what we're gonna see here and what we're going to watch here is a group of players who, because they lost, they decided that it was a good idea to accuse me of cheating when I was actively streaming on the internet, right? So without further ado,
on the internet.
So I'm flying over here. I'm over above shooting SCD-1, and I see this little 100i. So I was like, let me pop some shots at it real quick. He's inside of Armistice. So let me just pop some shots at him real quick, because nothing's going to happen to his ship. Because you can see down here, you can see right down here, he's not taking any damage. It's not doing anything to his ship. So I was like, let me just pop some shots at him, whatever. Because I was really here to get my blade, right? My blade's right there. And I was really just coming here to get that real quick. So I was like, I'll just fuck with this guy for a second. He took it personal. Fair. I shot at your ship. You want to come kill me? Fine. I have no issue with that. That's within the realm of the game, right? So I go down here and I'm landing to get into my blade. I'm landing to get into my blade. And there's my other little dead body from earlier, from when I died. I actually got rid of her twice in this stream. I got rid of her in the beginning too. At the same place actually. I got out of my ship here and I'm just trying to get into my blade and take off. And I had the idea like, oh, let me just go ahead and take all my armor and stuff off myself here real quick. And I see the guy with the cyclone. I'm like, oh, that's weird. And he tried to run me over the first time and he misses.
He's trying to grief you.
He's trying to run me over right now, and he's continuing to miss. Right? He's hitting the ship. This guy can't drive to save his life. Tries to run me over again. He's missing, and he's just hitting my blade. So he jumps far enough away, and I was like, all right, cool. He's far enough away. I have enough time to get inside of my ship. He tries to run me over again as I'm getting in the seat, but that doesn't matter because I'm in the seat. So now The engines are off. I turn the engines on, and I pull back on.
Watch him, like, I'm expecting him to, like, when this dude starts talking, be like, "You're fucking cheating. I couldn't run you over when you were outside. You were invincible. You had God mode on."
Yeah. Oh shit, I just realized I'm covering Marcus up here. I'm gonna turn my camera off for a second. It should be that one.
Hey, dude, you need to learn to be able to move your camera instead of just turning it off.
No, it's because of the... It's because I'm using stream elements, background elements, so I can move between PCs if I ever need to, as opposed to having separate elements within the scene. What the fuck is the background for YouTube chat? Oh. It's disappeared. I need to rename
What have you done,
that.
Agents? You're holding up the goddamn stream, Agents. What are you doing,
No, I'm not.
Agents?
I'm just gonna press play now.
On my stick, and my ship's not taking off. I'm just like, okay, well that's weird. Ship's not taking off. That's strange. So I see him drive by, and
His
I
weapons
see
aren't
like,
powering
okay,
up
well,
either.
something's not working here. And here shortly, the 890 is gonna land on top of my ship.
Holy
blow it up,
shit.
right? So technically here they pad ram. It's not technically pad ramming, but it's just like, okay, this is how you want to play. And I said, okay, this is how you want to play. I'm like, okay, this is cute. This is cute, right? So I was like, all right, cool.
You alright,
What the
Dobbs?
fuck? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. That just completely caught me off guard. That was so good.
Just the fucking 890 just coming out from behind us. Boom.
Like, that was the last thing I probably could have expected. Like, I was kind of thinking, like, he maybe trying to get back in his ship, or maybe he tried to, like, flip his ship or whatnot, but not just a fucking 890 coming right in, just, you know. Size 25
Marcus.
missiles. Got it. Thank you.
Marcus is in the chat. You should see when they tried to stream snipe me. Oh, is that in this? Let's keep watching. I want to see if this is in there.
Okay.
Cool. This is fine. I'm okay with this. This exists within the realm of the game. All of this is fine. I'm like, we could play. Let's play Star Citizen, bro. Like, let's play.
Let's go.
Let's play. But it gets better, man. It gets better. So I'm gonna skip it here because I'm just loading in. Skip it here because I typed to them in chat. I said, cute, don't be there when I get back because I'm coming back to fight. I'm coming back to fight. And remember, like, yes, they started the fight, but nothing happened to his ship. Nothing happened to him. So I'm like, cool. So now I gotta skip it because, you know, we gotta claim the ship and all that stuff. And we're gonna go back to SCD-1 on Daymar, right? So also for context, guys, I want you guys to remember this part of the video of where I came from. Remember this part of the video where I'm coming from. I'm coming from ArcCorp and I'm going all the way back to shooting SCD-1 on Daymar.
All right, remember that, chat. Chat, I want you to lock it in your mind.
It's 43 million kilometers
from Area 18, and he's going to Daymar. All right, I want you. Let's take it all in. Give it a second. Let it register. All right, let's go.
Think about how far away I am. Think about how far away from SCD-1 I am, right? So I want you guys to really keep this in mind. Really keep this in mind.
You really keep this in mind, guys. You gotta
Fucking Dobbs, just fucking play the video.
Just lock it in, man.
Okay? And I also said on my way back, the only thing I need to be worried about is ballistas. So I'm coming back out here, and I'm specifically looking for ballistas. I know this is hard to see because it's on the stream, but I'm looking towards the ground. I'm looking for ballistas, right? Because I know that's the only way that they can beat me, right? That is their only shot that they have to beat me. And I thought they left, right? But then I see the 890 still here. Well, the 890 is destroyed, so I know they have no other way out. They have no other way out. So I thought they left. I thought they'd get back into the chat and start talking to them again. Be like, oh, you guys left? Like, where are you guys at? You guys don't want to play? Coming up here in just a second. I'm gonna spot the ballista. So keep this in mind, guys. I came from ArcCorp, which is not a close jump. So that just goes to show how mentally retarded these guys are. They can't pre-station ballistas out because I literally told them I'm coming back. and you still want to be in the same place, I'm coming back. So what does that tell you? I'm looking for a fight. Like, Star Citizen is dull, bro. Like, we don't get this kind of player interaction all the time. So I was like, hey, bro, I'm coming back. Don't be there when I come back. You were here when I got back. So let's see what happens. So I see the first ballista. See Evil Banana. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get his ass first. And I wait for him to get outside the
He's
armistice
still
zone.
driving out there, dude. Oh my god.
He's in a ballista. So what are you gonna do with that? What you finna do? And I start lighting his ass up. Also, for context, the comma ray is down. So if I kill them, they can't press charges on me. They can't press charges. Dude. Why? Because the comma ray is down. So I'm just like, oh, this is fair game right here. This is easy.
Man, fuck
Evil
him.
Banana, like, I'm cheating right here. Evil, like, where, like, how am I cheating? Explain my cheats. Because I'm missing most of these shots. So how am I cheating? Explain this. Explain how I'm cheating right here, Banana.
Explain. Explain. Explain it.
You're cheating. You're cheating by flying a ship when they're on the ground. You're supposed to fight fair and fight the way that they want, which is you should be outside of the Scorpius and pretty much standing in front of the ballista and let them run you over. Fucking like dead set. Oh man, it's one of the reasons why, like, fucking, you know, like, he's got a really good point. Area 18 to Daymar, that's like 44 million kilometers that he's going to travel, and he's doing it in a Scorpius there. So, like, that's a size 1 quantum drive. Even with an Atlas, that's going to take him, like, 5 to 6 minutes. He's already pre-warned him. And, that's the quantum travel part too. That's not him going from the hospital all, run down, equip his, suit and that. Hey, X, thanks for the super chat there, mate. Equip his, shit that he's going to wear on his person. Then take the shuttle from Area 18 to the spaceport, call up his ship, get in there, fly to the quantum travel ceiling, jump out, jump from ArcCorp all the way over to Crusader, then from Crusader to Daymar, probably Daymar atmosphere down to Shubin. And these guys, like, old mate's only just driving out with a fucking ballista.
Yeah, that's the thing that I pointed out too. It's like he spotted him as he was driving out there. Yeah. And I don't know what kind of quantum drive fucking old mate has on this, but like that's like at least like a 5 to 7 minute jump. Probably around 5 minutes, maybe less than that. I don't know. It just depends. But like, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's not really that quick. Like, old mate could have pulled that out fucking immediately afterwards. Like, immediately after he sent that message, right? And he could have been a couple kilometers out, fucking been nice and inconspicuous. Would have been so much harder to find him at that point. But nah, he's just fucking, he just now decided to do it.
Darren, this guy in the ballista must be a zero threat refugee organization's not a strong suit. Fucking good one. Oh, mate. Oh, Darren. Savage. Oh.
Is that a Dobbs face reveal? Nah, bro. Honestly, I wish I looked like that.
I want you to explain this to me right now. Like, how am I cheating right here? I was like, oh, they got another ballista, so let me go ahead and make sure work a banana right here. He can't do nothing right now. Right now, he's literally
trying. He's jumped out of the chair.
Right now, his only option is to get me with a railgun because of where I'm at. His ballista will do nothing to me at this range. He can't do anything. He would have to have the best manual aim in the world right now to shoot me down with a ballista, and I know that, so I just stay circling around him. Blow him up, dead. First one.
Bye-bye.
Just,
and I come over
you could see actually on the
so I just stay circling around him.
MFD.
He just
came out of blow him up.
Oh.
He just came out of Blue Banana, bro. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
But you can see
fucking there, man.
you could see on the MFD that old mate had gotten out of the chair and he was in the turret and it was starting to pivot around, trying to, like, you know, get a lock on him. And old mate's probably there fucking spinning around, bloody freaking out, going, oh, I'm going to get this guy, I'm going to get this guy.
He's breaking his wrist trying to fucking move that turret around.
Yeah.
He's throwing his fucking shoulder out, dude. They're trying to spin that motherfucker around to get a shot on him.
I'm up, dead. First one down. And I come over here, I see the other one. And I was like, you're not getting away neither. You're not finna get no ballista on me. Other little clown right here orbiting. I was like, all right, cool. So you're gonna die next. Started lighting his ass up too. Guys, mind you, I came from ArcCorp. You couldn't have this stuff ready? Y'all couldn't have this ready? You know what I'm saying? Y'all couldn't have this ready? Y'all couldn't have this ready by the time I got there?
Couldn't have it ready.
But I'm cheating? Y'all couldn't have this ready?
You couldn't have it ready.
I put my landing gear out so I can just finish them off quicker. And I just came over here to check to make sure they had nobody else with them. And I was like, cool. Y'all were here when I came back? And then they came over here and say, Starboy is hacking. Ban this motherfucker. CIG, we have a hacker. Evo Banana says we have a hacker. Orbiting accusing me of hacking.
Hold up. Hold up. Read that. You can see that too. Yeah, someone hacked my ballista door open and blew it up. What? What? Yeah, and we can prove it right now. Fucking what?
I have it on recording, guys. I have it on recording.
Like,
does this guy, like, not understand that he just might have shot your door open?
well, no, even, but he was orbiting and shooting, so one of the shots could have just hit the door and blown it open that way.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But $5 he was invisible, the door opening was just getting hit. That's a high possibility in this case, but at the same time it's like, these guys know that they're getting attacked, they're getting damaged, and they can't find whoever's attacking them, so they instantly go to, I'm being hacked. Like, even if Marcus here was invisible to him, these guys immediately jumped to a hacking claim. Which is bullshit. It's like, because I've been subjected to this as well, where I've been flying around with a bounty on my head. Next thing I know, my shields are gone and I'm bloody taking hull damage and there's no one around me. And I'm like, alright.
Really?
Burn away, jump out. And I'm like, alright, fucking, you know, buddy, some dude ends up talking smack in chat to me, and I'm like, mate, I just couldn't see you. Like, you're invisible to me. Like, that's it. It's like, there's nothing really that I can do about that. I can try, and I'll just spin in a fucking circle and just shoot at nothing, and maybe I'll hit you. And that's the thing is, like, it's actually another point, and I guess the whole, if your spawn point, because we had an invisibility bug a while back where it was based on the container that you ended up spawning in relation to where you died. So if you died, in this case, like, this is actually a really good example here. Marcus dies in Daymar in Crusader. Dubs, your mic is picking up why?
Oh, sorry.
Thing again. Yeah, Marcus dies in Daymar Crusader, which is considered one container, and then he respawns all the way at ArcCorp in a different container. He travels from ArcCorp all the way back to Crusader. The server may not have updated the guys who are still at Daymar that Marcus has returned, and they may, you know, the server just hasn't told him that he's back. But, like, to go and just start going, yeah, we've got a hacker here. It's like, how the fuck would they know? And here's the other thing as well. Here's the other problem though. If he was invisible, how the fuck do they know that he was killing them? There's no fucking comma ray up. So how would it be the the invisibility bug? You can't see, and there's no comma ray, so they're not getting a notification of fucking someone killing them. Like, I could understand it being maybe some of them that were there could fucking see, old mate, and some couldn't. Maybe. But yeah, or maybe because maybe they were stream sniping them and that's how they knew. Fucking wow. Fucking wow. If you got evidence of bloody stream sniping, bloody, that is actually a bigger thing. Whether or not CIG decides to act on it is another thing. Because they'll claim that, oh yeah, it's on a different platform, we have no control over that. It's like, well, actually in your terms of service, there's actually something about stream sniping. And you can take action because it's against the terms of service. Because it's actually a toxic action against community members.
Also, I wonder if there was a CIG dev in that fucking server, because I like how they screamed for CIG in global chat, we have a live hacker CIG. like fucking Chris Roberts is watching.
Chris
the
Roberts
chat
is
himself.
there watching. Yeah, he's there watching, and he's like, fucking Starboy89, eh? Starboy89, let's get him. Alright, let's keep watching to see how this develops.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm streaming right now. How am I hacking? This is the ultimate assault right here. This is the ultimate assault right here. You know what I'm saying?
Ultimate
but at the same
assault.
time, you can't let nobody play on your name like you're hacking. Don't let nobody play on you like that. Don't let nobody try to disrespect you like that. You know what I'm saying? And I told him, I was like, hey, I'm gonna expose you guys. You guys saying that I'm hacking right now,
share.
I'm going to expose you. Because you just threatened us after you started a fight. Now both of our doors get blown open. See, what they're mad about is they didn't set up their ballistas in time. They thought I was playing when I said don't be there when I come back. Yeah, I started the fight. I also ended the fight. I started the fight. Y'all killed me. I came back. I killed y'all. Both of y'all. And y'all had 2 ballistas. Y'all had 2 ballistas. And you couldn't get either one of them set up in time, but I'm hacking. Maybe y'all just freaking suck. Maybe that's what it is. I had to get my keyboard and stuff.
No,
right,
I don't think it's maybe.
I'm pretty much gonna show my task manager here in a sec. I'm gonna open my task manager. Watch this. I'm cheating. I'm cheating, right? I'm cheating, right? Open my task manager for him live on stream. Open it for him. I scrolled down through all of my processes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let nobody play on my name like this. I'm not a cheater. I don't cheat. I don't do that. It's taken me a long time to gain the skill that I've gotten in this game. I don't cheat. I don't need to cheat. There's no reason for me to cheat. This Pasta Fool guy, Orbiting, Evil Banana, all these guys trying to accuse me of cheating. Fuck you for trying to say that I'm a cheater. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you for saying that I'm cheating. This dude right
Isn't
here
they
said,
live on
OnlyTimes?
OnlyTimes?
He only tried to troll us once because we own him. You didn't own me. You literally took your 890 jump and you landed it on my ship, right? You landed your.
Now that is commonly referred to as a pancake. If you get pancakes, that's perfectly legitimate, guys. Let's just make that clear. Perfectly legitimate.
Your 890 jump on my ship, and the only reason that you got to do that was because my ship literally would not take off. If my ship would have taken off, you would have not been able to do that. And this dude right here is like, oh, this isn't Blizzard Kid, go back to Roblox. Boy, if you don't get your ass out of here, your names are going to be on YouTube. Do you understand this?
Boy, if you don't,
you want to accuse me of cheating, I'm going to expose you for being liars. That's what I'm going to do. You don't accuse nobody of cheating without no proof. You know what I'm saying? It's on you. You're making the accusations. You should be able to prove that I'm cheating. But you have no evidence. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing though. There is no way. I'm going to turn my camera on for this little point that I'm going to make. Right, so there's no way that another player can definitively prove that another player is cheating. One player cannot definitively prove that another player is cheating. They can, provide a stack of evidence that makes it look like that, but they cannot definitively prove it because they don't have access to the server. And you need to have access to the server logs to be able to see what the inputs from the different clients are. So at no stage, and this is a really important point that doesn't get hammered enough into this community, accusing someone of cheating is one thing. You can't proving that somebody's cheating is something that just is never going to be able to happen. And it's why if you think someone has been cheating, you just report it to CIG. Like, these guys are fucking clowning, really. Like, the guy, bloody Evil Banana and all that. They've got absolutely nothing to prove that Marcus here is cheating. Absolutely nothing. And the fact that Marcus is streaming, helps his case in where he's like, well, look, you can see what I'm doing. I'm able to prove that I'm not cheating here. Only CIG, though, can verify if you are cheating or not. And it's a lengthy process where they're going to analyze what you're doing versus what's actually happening in the game. And at this current point in time in the development of Star Citizen, it's not worth their time. It's not worth the effort. Like, it sucks that, there are legit cheaters out there. But to sit there and accuse other players of cheating and then, start screaming in chat, because obviously there was a CIG dev on that server, because I don't know if you guys can see, but it's a PTU build. At the bottom of the screen, you can see the kind of the test message there. Dobbs, your microphone is picking up everything that you're doing right now.
Yeah, I know. I was doing that for Nola.
It's not clicky enough. It's not clicky enough to annoy him. But when it comes to this whole, thing about being accused of cheating as well, having this sort of evidence helps, but it's kind of frustrating that you have to have this sort of evidence to be able to sit there and refute this sort of thing. Like, nobody should have to defend themselves against accusations of cheating at this point in the game. It's bullshit. At no point should anybody have to defend themselves against accusations of cheating like this. And for those clowns to sit there and, start calling out to a CIG dev in chat, who apparently is there, and start crying, oh, we've got a live one, we've got, someone hacking. It's like, you fucking clowns don't even know. You just don't. You just have no idea. Like, fucking, this game, there is so much shit that a lot of people do not know about this game. It is fucking amazing. And the thing about it is like, if... I'm trying to remember how the saying... It goes along the lines of like, knowledge to one person can look like magic to another. You could know shit and be capable of doing stuff in this game that somebody else sees and they're like, I have no idea. If they don't know what's going on, it could, they're instantly thinking, oh yeah, they're cheating, they're hacking, they're, blah, blah, blah. But the fact of the matter is like, you just don't know. Like, you're ignorant to what, you're ignorant to the game. You're ignorant to what can be, what is possible in Star Citizen. The amount of times that we've been accused of fucking hacking, cheating, griefing, breaking the rules is fucking, just water off water off a duck's back for us now, but players just don't understand what you can actually do in this game a lot of the time because they stay in the little fucking tiny box. But yeah, like it's kind of, it's frustrating that you'd have to go through this process of, like you're streaming, so yeah, I'll open up my task manager, like I've got a stream to be able to defend myself. Like I actually highly encourage people whenever they're playing Star Citizen, especially if they're doing PvP, run OBS, record your session. As long as you're not doing dodgy shit. But at the end of the day, if you're just doing PvP stuff, then, who the fuck cares? Like, you're not doing anything dodgy at all. But you're going to get accused of, griefing, cheating, hacking, all of that sort of stuff. And while CIG a lot of the time don't react to that stuff, they can if they want to, if enough interest is generated around it. The whole Captain Dirty incident is a good example of that. Realistically, like, we should never have to defend ourselves against those sorts of accusations, but you should be prepared to do that anyway. Talking to these clans in chat, though, I wouldn't even worry about them. Most of the time they do it because they're looking for that reaction. It's like, harvesting that salt. It's one of the reasons why Mongol Squad, we don't talk in chat, because all it looks like if a target that we've just hit starts slinging salt in the chat and crying, it just looks like they're screaming into the ether, and just fucking having a whinge, and we're just there moving cargo, selling it, and hunting for the next target, and we're all just taking screenshots and laughing at old mate having a sook in chat. Yeah, we only talk when the guy breaks his keyboard. We actually had some quick story time. We pirated someone, I think it was last week. Yeah, it was last week. Apparently they put all their credits into their cargo load. It was a drug runner, and which was only 125k apparently. We hit them, but he bricked their shit, or we snared them on their way to Wala, bricked their ship, boarded, killed them. They were still in the pilot's chair when this all happened too. And then old mate just starts going off in chat, and like they're just typing fucking chat, spelling it out letter by letter, just kept banging away at their keyboard. And then they're like, I broke my keyboard, and they couldn't spell fuck properly anymore. Their C key had been broken. But yeah, old mate was just going off in chat, and the rest of the service actually started getting annoyed with him too. Which was even better, because they all started fucking having a go at him about it. Thank you very much for the super chat there, Blake. And yes, you're at 100% right. One day, I think we'll organize a channel to just throw the salt in there. The reason why I haven't done that yet is that I don't encourage harvesting salt. But the fact of the matter is it's getting that frequent now that we're not even trying. It's just happening. Anyway, I just wanted to make that point. It's not a burden on the player to prove whether or not that you are or aren't cheating. They can make an accusation, but there is no way for them to be able to prove it. All they should be doing is submitting their evidence to CIG and then let CIG handle it. Which is why whilst I appreciate what the 11's Hangar is doing with regards to their investigation into looking into cheating and all that sort of stuff with Star Citizen, they're making their videos. Avenger 1's fucking video that he made as well. it doesn't help. It doesn't help, achieve a goal. Just brings more attention to it. Like the community is more aware of it, which to a certain degree is okay. But then you get more of this where people are accusing other people of hacking when they have no fucking idea. It doesn't help. All right. Now I'm going to disappear. I'm going to go and where it is there. Let's finish the video.
I'm saying it wasn't like you said, "Oh, we're recording this right now. We're recording this right now, so we're gonna send these clips to CIG." Nah, your first response is, "Oh, let me just at CIG in the chat, be like, hey, we have a cheater in here. Don't you know they can go back and review the footage themselves too? Don't you know that they can go back and they can see the data themselves too? But you want to call me a cheater, man? Fuck you, bro. Don't play on my name like that. You feel me? I don't gotta cheat. I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm not like the best pilot in this game. I don't need to cheat. I don't need to lie about nothing, bro. But you motherfuckers want to sit here and call me cheater? Hell no, bro. Hell to the no. I ain't playing with that. And I'm not gonna get my account banned or suspended over some dumbass shit because you chose to land an 890 on my ship. Yeah, I shot at you. You tried to run me over. Okay, so it's not like y'all weren't trying to get me. You landed the 890. I was like, okay, that's cute. That's cute. Let's play. Let's play Star Citizen, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole 10 minutes later, bro. It's like a whole 10 minutes later. I came back 10 minutes later and y'all didn't have nothing ready. That is your fault. I came back. I got y'all. Y'all got mad. Y'all thought I was playing. But I was serious. Like, hey, don't be there when I come back. But y'all asses were there. Two guys in the Ballista got owned by one guy soloing a Scorpius. That's what y'all mad about. And then you try to get the whole chat,
They probably thought it was an Antares.
Try to get everybody in game to try to report me. I'm not saying,
about that, though.
Hey, look, I only want CIG to see this because this stuff is real. Okay? And I don't want them to get banned from the game. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I want to play against them some more so I can just keep killing them. I just want to keep killing them in game. We don't need to ban nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big boy. I can handle it. You know what I'm saying? I can put on my man pants. I can handle it. Even if I would have went back and they would have killed me, I would have been like, cool. Y'all got me twice. Ain't nothing I can do. Y'all got me twice. Good GG's. Y'all got it. Y'all won this one. I would have left it alone, but like I lost. Move on to the next thing. But these guys, they go and try to get me reported because I killed them fairly. You know what I'm saying? I didn't take my Scorpius and pad ran them. You know what I'm saying? He could have easily got out of that. Ballista and walked his ass back in the Armistice. They both could have, but they stayed in the motherfucking Ballista. And because they stayed in the motherfucking Ballista, I shot the motherfucking Ballista. Period. And that's it, y'all. So you tell me what y'all think. Did I cheat? Because I know I didn't. I think that I got the highest level, the finest, you know what I'm saying? I got the finest grade assault that you can get. But at the same time, CIG, we have a real issue on our hands with people, with players like these, trying to weaponize customer support to get players banned when they lose. And that is the real issue. You know what I'm saying?
Actually,
like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.
All right. Let's go over here. There we go. Marcus. That's the video right there. Head over to the channel. Make sure you sub to him, guys. There's follow-up videos as well. We won't be reacting to the follow-up videos because we've got a few other things to do. Maybe next week. But his last point there, it was actually a good one to bring up. And it's, you saw in the chat how those guys started acting, and apparently there was a CIG dev on the server because they're in the PTU, and CIG they actually do jump in to PTU servers to play with the other players and do their testing as well in an environment that has a lot more clients connected from different parts of the world. But the point that he's making there, you know, like false accusations is a real problem. You know, to sit there and, you know, accuse somebody, hey, you're cheating, you're hacking, you're griefing, that's a serious issue in my mind. That if you're going to do it, then it should be taken seriously, not something that you just throw around. But if you're going to do that, you contact CIG, you go through the proper support channels, you present your evidence, and then that's it. Don't wage a crusade. Don't go, you know, like, this guy's a cheater and I'm going to bloody put him on blast and, you know, bloody keep, you know, like, pushing an agenda. It's one of those situations where it's like, present your evidence to CIG, who is the only entity during this at all that can actually do anything about this, and then leave it at that. And if you encounter the person again, record what happens, and if the same thing happens again, then, you know, there you go. And bringing up, you know, like, that you're accused of hacking, like, this is the other side of it, is like, I have no qualms with people defending themselves. You know, like, if somebody makes an accusation and you got proof to the contrary, bring it up. Like, we've had to do it before. It was years ago now. There was a Spectrum post that was made by a player who claimed that they were griefed. They were doing rock mining. This is like in 3.11, I think it was. So we'd just gotten the ability to take the gems out of a rock. They were rock mining, and apparently some players just showed up, blew them up, and took their, you know, and that was it.
He's cheating.
Yeah.
He's cheating.
Well, this was a griefing accusation, and I read the Spectrum post, and I'm like, that sounds a lot like a hit that just happened like less than an hour ago that the guys had just posted about. So
yeah,
I asked him.
I do remember this. It was so funny. You made this video in like less than 12 hours. It was so good.
Yeah. I asked him, and I'm like, hey, you know, buddy guys, did you happen to hit this guy here? This is their name. Did you happen to hit this guy? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, do you guys have video footage of it? Because they're accusing, like, they haven't named you, but they may be dropping, you know, a support ticket to CIG to make an accusation of you guys griefing them. And chances are CIG would have just ignored it anyway. But I'm like, well, this is actually a really good teaching point here, because this person, you know, feels like they were griefed, but they don't understand what was going on. And because they got killed early on in the actual encounter, they don't see what happens afterwards, which was that the guys killed him, landed, pulled all the gems out of his rock, and then fucked off. Now, old mate had made his post, and I ended up, you know, grabbing one of the guys. Only one of the guys had recorded, but I grabbed that video and I cut it up, and I also ended up grabbing a screenshot of the Spectrum post as well and throwing it in there, and pretty much showed exactly what had happened. Old mate, the person who made the OP, changed their bloody Spectrum name after I had made the response. And it was pretty much, you know, like, this is exactly what happened. We were recording what we're doing. Now, CIG does have a post that explains what you should do if you think somebody is griefing you. Going to Spectrum and having a whinge that somebody's griefing you and trying to name and shame them is not how you do it. You go through support. But the point that I was getting to here is that you have to be prepared to be able to defend yourself against false accusations like that. Fortunately, CIG a lot of the time, you know, is quite open-minded when it comes to gameplay interactions, and unless they feel like it's, you know, unless they get a lot of reports consistently over time that are of the same sort of substance, they're not going to really do much if they don't get that. And, you know, they will go and observe, and they will go and do, you know, their due diligence. Unfortunately, though, sometimes there's incidences out there where, decisions are made and the wrong actions are taken by CIG, Captain Dirty's case. And that's one of the reasons why it's important to make sure that you record your point of view, that you are prepared to defend yourself, and that, at the end of the day, if, CIG bloody says, you're doing something wrong, it's like, well, you got to be prepared to take it on the chin. But at the same time, if you do have a platform, or you do have others, you're in contact with people that have a channel, or you're a part of a larger group, you can present what happened to them. You can present what happened to them, and you can go, hey guys, this is what happened. CIG made a determination on this. This is my side of the story that CIG's ignored, or they've taken into account. Still slap me with this. What are your guys' thoughts? So this is just one of those things where it's like, CIG do have the last say in everything when it comes to their game. So I don't think, Marcus, mate, that CIG is going to really do anything about this at all. And it's bullshit that these guys accuse you of bloody hacking and that. But I just fucking make a point of going out and finding them and killing them over and over again a couple more times.
Just protect yourself.
Turn it into a bit of, just create a bit more content. Milk it for what it's worth.
Yeah, honestly, this is goofy. People are just very, very goofy.
There was a question there that I saw. War Dolls. Agents, what headphones you got on? These are some fucking Chinese bloody knockoff brand. I don't even know what. Their wireless headset. I've had these for years. They haven't failed me yet. I've got a SteelSeries Actus Pro set, and the charging port on it. After using it for about a month, the charging port ended up detaching from the soldering detached from the actual board and got pushed into the headset itself. So I had to pull this one back out. I've had this headset for, 4 or 5 years. It's going strong. It only cost me $60 as well. Whereas the Actus Pro was fucking nearly 300 and something Australian. But yeah. Yeah, I couldn't tell you exactly what brand they are. I got them off eBay. Let's catch up in the chat. What are those things where the rocks were flying right inside of our 890 cheating? That was good old booty magnet. Good old booty magnet technique. We're going to be able to do that again soon. We're going to be able to do that again soon. Fucking the Argo SRV is going to be the best ship to use for pirating rocks. The best one. Oh.
No, yeah, that doesn't even have shields, does it? I don't think it has shields. You can literally just fucking pick that thing up. Yeah, the rock.
I don't think it does.
I don't think so.
But yeah. Don't worry, guys. We do have some gameplay videos coming. Dobbs has been busy, and I too have been busy. That said, we're not just choosing any generic hit that we do now, because we're getting a lot of piracy hits still. It's just a lot of them are still the same. Piracy
every day. If you think we've talked about this before. If you want to think about all the piracy hits that we've posted in the past 3 or 4 years, right? We have done just about every single type of piracy hit that you can do within our framework that you could possibly imagine. Now, if we were to post every single piracy hit that we do, or even most, or even half of them, it would be the exact same thing that you have been seeing for literal years. Years. and you would watch the video and be like, yeah, cool. It's pretty much the same thing that happened last week. Fucking new one comes out 1 week later. Okay, cool. It's the same thing that happened last week. So that's why we're sort of looking at it to the point where it's like, we're not going to post videos unless like something in that hit happens that is completely unique from anything else that we've ever done. And it's hard to do that because we don't script our content. We're actually out there like looking for real players and doing piracy hits on real players. That wasn't pre-organized, it wasn't predetermined, it wasn't anything. And you can imagine that it's hard to find like stuff that's like really good and really compelling when you're just doing it organically like that. Now, if we scripted it, we'd be fucking putting shit out every week, like the most epic fucking gameplay you could ever fucking imagine in your life. Because we can do that. We have the ability to do that, but we don't. Because that's not compelling to us. We'd rather showcase what you can actually do in the game. So that's why we're sort of, looking at it to the point where like, unless like something really crazy happens in the hit, we're not really going to edit it and put it on the channel. So that's probably that's why you're not seeing as many Piracy Ops videos as you used to in previous patches and years prior.
Yeah. Like our tally. What's our tally right now? It's actually pretty high. Where is it? Quickly punch in. Carlos. We're going to talk to Carlos. Last count, our tally was at... Since 318 has gone live, we have pirated just over 52 million credits worth of Alpha UEC.
Wait, I thought it was 54 million.
It would be sitting at 54 million now because we've had a few hits since the last org report. I'm reading off the org report right now.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Just over 52 million was from the last report. Now, I haven't even looked at how many piracy hits we've actually done since 318 went live. 318 went live on the 10th
of March. Yeah.
Yeah. 10th of March. So we're looking at about 6 weeks. And, like, we've already surpassed what we pirated in 317.
About a year.
Which was about a year. I think there's only one other patch so far where we've made more credits, but we're fast approaching that. If we maintain our current tempo, we will surpass it, but it really depends on how long CIG takes to release 319.
Yeah, and honestly, like, in 317 we made 30 million. Like, by the time 317 ended, we were at 30 or just over 30 million credits. And by the way, like, that was just like, that's money just from piracy hits, right? That doesn't take into account like all the credits that members made up through other means like mining, hauling, smuggling, fucking bounty hunting, whatever, right? That is like, that tally is just a metric for money that we made through piracy hits in that year or in that 317 branch, which includes 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, etc. Okay. The same thing with the 318 tally. Like 318 tally is just covering piracy hits and not other means that our members and prospects make money.
We don't count the Tesseract scam. As good as it is.
I remember that was like, I remember that week was like such a hot debate because like everyone was so pissed when you disqualified that from the tally because it's like, it was a swindle, or was it a piracy? And I'm like, fuck that! Everyone was like, fuck that, dude!
Yeah, it's I want people to focus on actually doing proper piracy, not trying to swindle people. Because you could just sit and chat and just swindle all day, and you could make, you know, millions of credits that way. Oh, guys, you know, like I just, you know, spent my last credits upgrading my ship, or, you know, like just lost all my credits in this last cargo hold. Has anybody got, you know, can anybody spare some credits? Just sit there, bloody, you know, hang out at Lawville, hang out at Orison, just sit there and have, you know, punch out messages and have the credits roll in. It's like fucking EVE Online. Bloody all the scammers looking for, all the scammers trying to get bloody credits or ISK out of you some way, shape or form. Yeah, like... We'll move on with the next thing now, guys. So the next one... The next one is a Spectrum post. And I thought this one was a bit interesting too. So there's a link to it there.
I'm not prepared.
So here we go. Let's get the camera back. Hey! Star Citizen is not a PvP game right now. What the fuck does that even mean? Let's find out. PvP games have systems in place to manage PvP. Star Citizen,
Really?
as it is right now, well, as it is now, is an alpha, and we can only view and play the game for what it is now, not what it will maybe become in X years. Or maybe they mean 10 years because they're using Roman numerals, who knows. What it will become doesn't justify actions now. The PvP systems simply aren't there. Many people justify their actions in game by labeling it as PvP or a sandbox. A criminal can fly around, camp locations and kill players. They can sit and wait for a trader to fill up, kill a guy rock mining and blow up his ship, or shoot a noob in an Aurora, go to Clashot, log off and do it all again tomorrow. This includes piracy. Criminals are necessary in games, but need to be a part of a managed experience for all players. You don't need criminals in all games. They're not necessary in games. It's an option. It's
You're
a
building a
choice.
fucking simulator. It's a fucking space and universe simulator. Dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
You know, you don't want criminals in like in solitaire. They're not necessary to a game like Solitaire or anything like that.
Like Solitaire.
Yeah, man. You don't need criminals in Solitaire. You know, criminals are necessary in games. That's their claim. No, they're not. It's a choice. The slate is wiped clean every day. If I am a criminal, I can choose to have effectively 0 consequences just by when I log off. The trader, on the other hand, is set back days. The miner possibly an hour to set up again. The Aurora less, of course. A player can't even shoot another player illegally in their ship without first flying out of comms range without getting a CS. Most ships won't allow you to even lock the cockpit door. That's part of the reason why you have this issue, is because fucking people keep complaining about the wrong thing. And I'll come back to that point later. I see this unfold regularly in game chat and here on Spectrum. Engagements where the fight is taken to an unwilling opponent isn't PvP. There is no versus. It is simply an immature law and order system and poor PvP mechanics, allowing players to attack others with no consequences for the aggressor, but little to heavy consequences for the recipient. Sure, reputation may help with this in the future, but we are here in the here and now. It is the equivalent of loading a fresh save every day after you stole from the NPC shopkeeper and ruined your reputation. These players don't seek out opponents. These types of engagements aren't needed to make the game feel dangerous. While it will mostly be handled by NPCs in the future, these kinds of engagements don't currently provide a service to the players or make the alpha more interesting at this point. The only thing they provide is the thrill for the aggressor and a random chance of conflict for the recipient. Before I get roasted, here's how I play it. I enjoy PvP against other fighters, but I don't force it on others outside events where it is expected. I do player bounties, PvE bounties, trade box deliveries. Yeah, no one gives a fuck. Yeah, nice. Feel free to Picard palm this one too. Yeah, this person, where is it? Is it the top one? Here we go. Actually, I need to update that. I fucking love this comment here. I too make up rules in my head and then criticize people who don't follow my imaginary rules. Fucking. Oh god. It's a brilliant fucking response. But Star Citizen is not a PvP game right now, Dobbs. Did you know that, Dobbs? Star Citizen is not a PvP game.
Well, fuck it, man. I might as well go back to Sea of Thieves at this point.
Well, at least you know that in Sea of Thieves there's supposed to be criminals there. It's in the title. Thieves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, this game is called Star Citizen, right? Not Star Criminal. Okay.
That's right. It's Star Citizen, not Star Criminal. So we should all be law-abiding citizens, right? Like.
Sea of Thieves, baby. Sea of Thieves. More like, see if these fucking nuts fit. Never mind. I'll be right back.
Where the fuck are you going with that? Like, PvP in Star Citizen, like, this person's just upset that PvP, like, their form of PvP is, it needs to be consensual PvP. Like, two parties who are in agreement to fight each other. PvP in Star Citizen does not need to be consensual at all. You don't need the other person's permission to attack them at all. Just like in real life, you can walk up to somebody and punch them in the back of the head. You can do that to anyone. You don't need to ask for their permission for it. You shouldn't do it. It's not a good thing to do. There's seldom times where you're justified in just attacking somebody out of the blue. But we're playing a video game, and the video game allows you to do things that you normally can't do in real life. And people's motivations in a video game can vary, and those motivations are their own. They don't have to explain their motivations to you at all. You don't have to understand their motivations. You don't have to like them, you don't have to agree with them. But you have to be able to deal with their actions. And if you're not prepared to deal with their actions, then you've got some other choices to make. You can find other people who are capable of dealing with them, and then you party up with them, and you play with them. And when you encounter that person who wants to attack you, they can go deal with the problem. Your friends can come along and save you. Or you can choose to not play this game at all and go find something else. But at no stage does anybody have to consent to attack you. They don't need your consent to speak to you in the game. They don't need your consent to take your stuff. Because CIG is creating a simulation, and they want that simulation to have conflict in it. You may not want conflict. Too bad. It can happen.
You hear that? You don't matter.
Now, It's not like CIG has made this game and you're fighting your way out of the hab. You know, like you're there, you wake up in the hab, you log in, you're waking up in the hab, and the first thing you're doing is pulling out your pistol and bloody gunning people down and trying to fight your way to the ASOP terminals to call up your ship. They may have places like that eventually. I think it would be fun.
I think that'd be super fun. Like,
Yeah.
guys, honestly, am I the only person that's going to fucking love Ruin Station and just be fucking sitting there all day just fucking shooting people? I know I will. Like, I'll fucking sit in there all day and just kill people. I think that's great.
Now, this game, Star Citizen, favors those who prepare for the unexpected. If you prepare adequately, you have a higher chance of success than those who don't. If you seriously think that you can just log into this game, jump into your ship, stick your thumb up your ass, put your mind in neutral, and move boxes from one place to another, the most expensive commodity that you could find that has the highest profit margin without any sort of thought of consequence that, you know, there are other players that may want to try and take your stuff, especially when CIG builds into the game mechanics, and they've done this intentionally, the ability to take other people's stuff, put it on your own ship, and then sell it somewhere else. Okay, that wasn't an accident. That wasn't a happy mistake that CIG made. They deliberately scheduled. They deliberately scheduled developer time. Yeah, and if you look at the promotional trailers for 318, it features piracy a lot in it.
What's the first thing that you see in fucking 318? And hold on, I actually want to go look at this really quick. Star Citizen 318. No. Fucking alright, trailer. Seeing Salty Mike shit. There we go. Literally, the first thing you see is is another ship shooting down a Starfarer, and the Starfarer gets fucking sent to the ground, and guess what's all around the outside? Boxes! And then what happens to those boxes? Fucking men that are wearing like pirate suggestive gear are throwing those boxes inside of a ship.
Pirate suggestive gear. That's a new term.
That is in the first 30 seconds of the 318 trailer. And you want to tell me that Star Citizen is not a PvP game right now? Oh, but Dom's NPC pirating NPCs. Like, no, dude. Like, the fucking CIG has literally said on record in multiple fucking shows and other mediums that you will be fighting off pirates, piracy gameplay made more interesting, etc. You can't sit here and tell me Star Citizen is not a PvP game when they're blatantly showing things like that.
Well, yeah, but Dobbs, it's not a PvP game right now. Don't you understand? He's just talking about now. You know, far off in the future, when Star Citizen gets finished, that's when it's okay to do PvP.
That's why I brought up the 318 trailer. Because that is right now.
Like, the point that this person's trying to make is like, you shouldn't be doing PvP right now. You know, against players who aren't ready for it. It's like, why? Because you don't think it's right? Fuck off. You don't think it's fair? Fuck off. But you don't tell me how I play this game. Just like I won't tell you how to play the game. I'll show you what's possible. It's up to you to decide how you actually want to play it, but sitting there and going, oh, you know, like, it's not PvP because the other players aren't willing. They're not going to be willing now. Guess what? When the game gets finished, they're not going to fucking be willing then either, because they don't want it to happen. Believe it or not, you should not want people to steal your shit. Like, yes, we're playing a video game, people enjoy the experience of different encounters, but realistically, you should not want people to take your stuff. And CIG equips everybody the same way in this game. They give you all the same opportunities. At no stage does anybody have the excuse to sit there and go, I wasn't ready. Now, there are certain things that CIG needs to address. And this is what my point was when I was saying, you know, like, people complain too much about the wrong thing. Old mate's sitting there going, you know, Star Citizen's not a PvP game right now. Fuck off, it is. In fact, the first thing that they released for Star Citizen after the Hangar module was Arena Commander, which is a fucking PvP module.
Yeah, I was literally just thinking about that. The first feature set that they released that's actual gameplay is fucking Arena Commander. Oh no, dude. That's so fucking funny.
At this point here, a player can't even shoot another player illegally in their ship without first flying out of comms range without getting a crime stat. Okay, that's a legit claim. Like, that's a legit thing that needs to be addressed. How many fucking posts from PvE players or lawful players or, you know, those who, you know, are against piracy, how many of them actually complain that CIG hasn't addressed that security concern? How many of them are actually sitting there going, hey, CIG, we need better mechanics to help us secure our ships? They're not. They're too busy sitting there saying PvP or PvP players are griefers. I'm getting griefed. I don't want to be griefed. If you come aboard my ship and you're not in the party, you're griefing me. As opposed to sitting there going, hey, CIG, I want to be able to defend my ship. I want to engage in this gameplay, but you're setting me up for failure here. Because it is. Like, it's one of the reasons why, like, why I don't encourage players to just board other players' ships inside of armistice zones. Because it's easy to do. It's really easy to do. It's not hard at all. It's one of the easiest ways to get onto somebody's ship. Like, stowing away and doing, you know, sneaky stuff, you know, it's okay. But if you're a part of an organization and you're trying to do piracy, you shouldn't be relying on somebody sneaking aboard a ship.
Yeah, like,
your team should be capable of bloody taking that ship down.
Yeah, like that's something that you would do fucking if you were by yourself or with a small group of people, like barely even 5 people. Like, yeah, you could do that. Fine. Like, this is a problem that, like, we've seen, like, across the org in the past as well. It's like, fucking when we used to do something called turret monstering, which is essentially finding a rock miner out doing his mining thing, sneak on the ship, hide in the turret, and they're fucking none the wiser. And then as soon as they're done and they're attempting to fly back toward the outpost to go sell, you fucking get out the turret, you fucking kill them, and then you take the ship and the rock and go fucking transfer and sell. Again, like, mind you, you're playing with a big group of like 7 to 10 to perhaps 15 people. And if one person can do all the work, okay, cool. Like, you have that one person do a turret monster. Meanwhile, everyone else, the other 10 people that are up in the sky that just fucking staring at you, yeah, that's all they're doing. They're just fucking staring at you, letting you have all the fun while you get to take the prize and everything. So, like, that's why tactics like that and doing things like that is better for smaller groups and solo players. You're not using a large team to its maximum potential doing hits like that. As a matter of fact, you're just wasting the resource when you could be going after bigger prizes and better prizes and taking them in a much more efficient way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I discouraged turret monstering, because it became apparent once, like, we got good at it And then it was like, all right, well, 6 of us are watching one person sneak aboard a ship and wait. Then we all sit there and wait. They cut the person in the back of the head. They fly the ship. We transfer the gems, and that's it. It's like, we don't need 6 people to do this. We don't need 7 people to do this. We could do this with 2. And then it's like, all right, well, if this is all how we're going to do piracy from now on, like, we don't need to train in anything. We don't need to train in EMP, QED, or anything like that. We just got to look for targets and then just do that. That's the thing, like, Data Streamer's got it right there. Rock miners are more for solo pirates. Like, they're the natural order of things that happens in Star Citizen now, and it's developing with piracy gameplay. Like, there's an order of the types of targets that you go after based on the size of the crew that you're operating with. And the larger the crew that you're operating with, the bigger the targets that you should be going after.
Yeah. And it's like an organization like ours, like we're training and we're aiming for like hitting large protected industrial convoys. Like that is the thing that we're hoping that we can find out there and that we can take, because that requires the maximum use of a giant team with a giant and thorough composition to achieve taking something of that size and strength.
Yeah.
Like that is what we're working towards as the game is being developed. Like, can we find, you know, orgs and stuff that's doing that kind of thing to that level of scale? Not really. They're hard to find. There's some of them are out there doing it, but they're very, very few and far between. And if industrial orgs are out there doing it, kudos to you, man. Like, I'm glad you're doing it despite the fucking shitty circumstances around the trade economy and shit. But yeah, like I want that to be more frequent, because then we can just go after those kinds of targets exclusively instead of just fucking using 10 to 15 people to go after a fucking rock miner or a diamond hauler or a fucking, you know, like whatever.
There's a couple of points that people are bringing up. Was it Pilksock? The PvP systems need working on, and that's what they're doing with the bounty system. I can see them reworking how you get a crime stat system and give you a lawful way to defend against pirates. PvP isn't the problem though. None of that has to do with PvP. And that's one of the things that a lot of people don't understand when it comes to the game development here, that you can't, from the designer's perspective or from the game developer's perspective, you can't think of the systems in terms of PvP and PvE. It's security. And the reason why they have to think of it as security is because AI and players are supposed to be able to perform the same actions. Now, AI won't be able to do everything to the same level as players. They won't be able to approach tasks with the same level of obscurity when it comes to performing an action. Like, AI will do, you know, a piracy hit a certain way, and they'll do it that way every time. Players will do a piracy hit and they may do it the same way 5 times, and then they evolve, you know, their tactics and they do it slightly differently the 6th time, the 7th time, the 8th time. Whereas an AI would just keep doing it the same way the whole way through. And that's why you can't really sit there and go, oh, you know, PvP's the problem. PvP, or, you know, like, isn't the problem here. It's that the security mechanics are lacking. And if you took the players out of the equation, if you took PvP out of the equation, the security problem is still present. You know, like, we haven't got it yet, but when we get AI doing ship boardings, if CIG doesn't address the security problem where you can't defend your own ship against boarding, you know, people who are boarding it, it doesn't matter if it's a player or an AI. If you can't defend against that, you've still got the same problem. So that's why it's not a PvP issue, it's a security system issue. That's what a lot of people need to understand there, is that, and that's a problem here. And once again, another reason why, you know, like, I'm firmly against militant PvE fucking Care Bears on this regard, because they always will accuse other players, PvPers, you know, you guys are the problem. You know, you guys shouldn't be doing this. The game isn't ready for this yet. It's like, we're playing the game that we're playing right now, that, you know, based on the systems that we have, getting rid of PvP won't solve your problem, because CIG will give the AI more capability later on down the road, and then you're back to square one of the same problem. The issue here is that you need to, like, move past emotion, because that's what a lot of, you know, militant PvE Care Bears fucking think with. Move past that emotion and look for the core of the problem. Defending your ship against invaders is the problem here, in the sense that you can't do it without getting a crime stat if you're in Comrade range. Like, you need them to do something aggressive against you before you can actually engage them. That's a problem. You know, like, there's ways of working around that. Like, you know, people go, oh, well, you know, you got the hostility system at the moment. If, you know, somebody shoots at your ship, disables it, and then does the boarding action, they would come across as hostile, and if you shot them, you probably get away with it. But the way to counter that is, you know, just have somebody that wasn't shooting at the ship do the boarding action part. And then all of a sudden you're going up against a blue player. You know, a blue player is boarding your ship, and if you shoot them, you end up being the hostile, and they send you to prison.
Yeah, I did read in a monthly report, I think it was last month, where they were speaking about updating the ship system, where you will not be added to the comms channel if you're not in the party of the, if you're not in the same party of the owner of the ship. So like if you're in the party with the owner of a ship and you walk on, you'll be immediately added into the ship comms channel, like anybody is at this point. However, if you're not in the party, when you walk on, you won't enter the comms channel, so you won't essentially be like added to the ship. But what might happen is, I think in its place. So like for instance, like when I read that, I was like, oh, it's like players won't receive that like notification on the top. Oh, cool, stealth boarding. And I was like, well, that's probably not the case, because what I think might happen is like the people don't get notified that you're in the ship. However, the owner might get notified that you're trespassing, and they might have the ability to press charges if they're like in range of a comrade. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Which it's probably, you know, you can think of that what you will, but yeah, that's probably what's going to happen, is that the owner will get a prompt to charge somebody for trespassing on the ship, and whether that's a whatever level of offense that is, we'll just have to see.
The problem is that
I thought it was good. Like I thought it was really good, because like, you know, because that actually, you know, allows the owner of the ship to defend their ship and not be charged for when they kill people.
Yeah, well, that's the thing though, is that that's what CIG needs to address. Like that's a positive method of CIG addressing a problem that players are having, where they can't defend their own ship. You know, I've actually made Spectrum posts about this, where, and the point that I was putting across is that CIG isn't empowering players enough to be able to defend themselves. Like, if you're going to defend yourself, you have to be prepared to take a crime stat to do it. And that's a shit way of, you know, being, you know, that's a shit choice for a lot of players. They don't want to be in that position because they don't want to go to prison. Prison is a consequence for failing to be a good criminal. Like, you made a mistake as a criminal player and you wind up in prison. It's not a punishment, it's a consequence of failure. Because, you know, you can get out, you're not there to learn a lesson beyond, alright, don't make the same fucking mistake again. You're not there to contemplate, you know, your place in society and, you know, reform so that you never become a criminal ever again. Like you know, like the way that the system's supposed to work in real life. It's a consequence for failing to be a good criminal. And when you come out, You know, you go back to doing your thing. You know, another thing, and this guy doesn't talk about it, but the reputation system needs to be iterated on and improved so that criminal players who gunning to be a career criminal and Star Citizen build up the right reputation so that it's known that they're a criminal, that security forces know that you're a criminal, and that, you know, like, you may have gone to prison to serve sentences, but when you've come out, like, yeah, right now it's just a clean slate. It's like, oh yeah, buddy, yeah, I went on this murder spree and murdered, you know, like 100, you know, entities, you know, NPCs, players, it didn't matter. You know, you're killing people. You got 100 murders under your belt. You've gone to prison, you served your time, you come out. Well, right now, it's the slate's clean. It's like nobody fucking knew that you ever did it. It's like you never murdered a single person. That shouldn't be the case at all. That should be on your record that you did that and that you've served the time for that. But nobody's asking for that to happen. It's all about trying to punish criminal players, you know, all about punishing PvP players. Oh, you know, like, you've done the worst thing ever. So, you know, you need to be in prison for the next bloody month. And you can't serve that time when you're not in game. It's like, are you serious? When people are playing a video game here, you need to bloody understand that those players who are playing the criminal side of things, CIG allows that. They want that. It's an option. And you're not going to be able to sit there and expect other players to behave the way that you want. And if they don't, you actually aim to punish them so that they can't play the game. But the system needs to be set up in a way that it remembers if you were a criminal, and that you build the right type of reputation so that security is paying more attention to you. They're more likely to respond. Players are able to gauge, you know, how they should interact with you. Because if you're known as a criminal, they should be, you know, a lot more wary of you. Reputation is a huge thing, especially for pirates. It's one of the reasons why we put videos out there. One of the reasons why we made the declaration. And it did cause a fucking stir. You know, there were people reacting to it. There's more people still reacting to it. There's more people being more wary of piracy too now. They're actually taking precautions, trying to organize escorts. They're not running around in sperm suits all the time now. They're getting around in bloody heavy armor and weapons. You know, they try to fight back. That's all great. That's what we want. I want, you know, the reputation system to be more fleshed out so that, you know, you don't have to be, you know, a fucking organization with a YouTube channel, you know, putting out videos about what they do. It shouldn't be like that. You should be able to build a rep up in game. But nobody's complaining about, you know, the reputation system not being fleshed out enough so that people can be more interactive in the game. They're sitting there fucking crying about PvP. You know, they're sitting there crying that, you know, like, this thing that they don't want to happen to them is happening. Instead of sitting there going, why, you know, CIG, empower me so that I can play your game.
Empower me,
100%
agents.
Cypherdex. 100%. Like, the reputation
It's
system is
side
low hanging fruit.
effects.
Side effects. Sorry. Side
I got you,
effects.
bro. I got you, bro. I got you.
Blake, yes, the next video was supposed to be, well, we're aiming for Monday, but Dobbs has been busy. He's got one that's almost done. I haven't had that much time to work on one.
The fuck am I? What? Why does the fucking volume on this VOD keep... What the hell is going on?
What do you want about? What VOD?
No, like, I
Are
have...
you working on video?
I have the stream... No. I have the stream minimized in another window, and then, like, I have it down to, like, the lowest volume, and then periodically, like, the volume will just, like, kick up to 75%. I don't even touch it. Yeah, I've been frequently AFK. Well, not AFK, but like not focused on the stream because Bitters is trying to get me to reveal my face.
Moonbiter? I think it's hypocritical. Others can't force you to play the way they want, but you can. You make all the calls for COG to make changes better for pirating. Is it not the same? You just have a platform. I think part of what your point was got lost in translation there. So let's break this down. I think it's hypocritical. Others can't force you to play the way they want you, but you can. Or they want, but you can. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you saying that because we can force other people to fight or put them in a position where they have to fight, but they can't put us in a position where we can't fight them? Like, that's a game design thing. We didn't build the game allows it. They could do the exact same thing to us if they wanted to. It's a choice. If they choose not to want to fight, that's on them, not us. But they're playing in an environment where it's possible that you could end up in a fight. So you can either be prepared for it or you don't. But to sit there and say you're forcing your gameplay on me is idiotic, because that is the gameplay that is allowed. It doesn't matter if you don't want it or not. It's allowed in the game environment. You make all the calls for COG to make changes better for pirating. Is it not the same? You just have a platform. That part I still don't get. To sit there and say, like, of course we're going to ask COG to make improvements to help our gameplay, because we're engaging in that gameplay and that's, you know, our little sphere. Just like people who do mining who ask for fixes or improvements for their gameplay loops to happen as well. Like, what, we just sit there and go, oh well, you know, like, we don't say anything because what, other people don't want to engage in piracy? Who the fuck is going to make the, you know, how is COG going to know if something works or doesn't if nobody gives them feedback on it? Because that's what we do. We give them feedback and then we give them suggestions on how they can improve. It's up to COG if they want to listen or not. You know, we can't force COG to sit there and go, hey, you better make piracy gameplay work. You better make it easier for piracy to happen. That's COG making a decision there. It's up to them, not us. If they don't want to listen, they don't have to. But at no stage should that ever stop anybody from making suggestions. My point is that people should be aiming to make the right suggestions to empower themselves in this game, as opposed to sitting there going, fucking, this game doesn't play the way that I want it to play, and you need to change it to play the way that I do want it to play, even though it goes against the entire fucking premise of how the game is designed to play. It's like somebody sitting there going, I don't want PvP interactions to happen to me. And COG goes, well, that's not the game that we're making. In the future, there'll be less, you know, likely opportunities of PvP interactions happening. But that's not where the game is at right now. That's not where COG has built it to be at right now. But the thing is that you can defend yourself against piracy attacks now. the game just doesn't give you all the options that you want. But that doesn't stop you from being able to defend yourself. It's just not the best options, that you could have. But you could ask for better options. You could sit there and go, hey, CIG, I know that PvP is part of this game. I'm not really into that. What things can you add to this game that helps me avoid that particular type of gameplay? Systems that have better security. Once again, the reputation system plays a big part here. A system like Terra shouldn't be letting criminals in. Or, like, to get in as a criminal should be really difficult to do. If you're trying to do piracy in a system like Terra, it should be one of those situations where it's a big deal and it's a big operation for the pirates to do. And if they get caught, the consequences of failure are severe. That's where you could actually be looking at, you get sent to prison and you're stuck there for a month. And you got to try and play your way out. But if you succeed in doing piracy in a system like Terra, the prize should be fucking phenomenal. But, CIG makes it really difficult to pull off because they don't want piracy happening there. But instead of getting that type of suggestion being put forth by the community, we see people sitting there going, I don't want PvP in the game, ban PvP. And that's not what Star Citizen is about.
But I don't want it, agents.
Conflict is there. I'm all for parity. It just seems now you seem to be straying further from it. Oh, because of the red flag thing? I don't give a fuck. Like, dead set. Oh, no. I do not play this game for the entertainment of anybody else but myself. If you don't like the way that I'm doing piracy, that is your problem. And just because you don't think it's piracy doesn't mean that it isn't. At all.
You're moving away from piracy, you're shooting people. And you're not being a friendly Disney pirate and sending them a message and calling them and be like, excuse me,
giving them
sir,
a chance.
I'm pirating.
We're not giving them a chance.
Can you send me like, I don't know, 10,000 and then I'll let you go? No. Otherwise, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to kill you. And they're like, oh yes, sure, like, Mr. Pirate friend. I'll send you. If you don't like it,
that's okay.
Please don't hurt me.
If you don't like the way that we're doing piracy, that's okay. That doesn't bother me at all. You don't have to. To be honest, nobody should like being pirated in this game at all. It shouldn't be a fucking pleasant experience for the other player. If you're looking for gameplay though, and that interests you, and having that conflict there and that tension and like that challenge, and that's what you're looking for, and you see getting pirated by a group as presenting that, that's great. But I don't do piracy for the enjoyment of other people. I do it for myself. And I created an organization. I said, hey guys, this is how I want to do piracy. And if you're interested, feel free to join. And there are other people that do. And they joined. And, we all go out and we do piracy together. But they didn't join Mongol Squad to do piracy for my sake. They didn't sit there and go, I want to be, buddy... I want to be a drone for Agents Letty and, like, do whatever he says, however he says. They make a decision. I see this guy doing piracy. I like the way he's doing piracy. I want to do it that way too. And I want to be part of an organization that does piracy that way as well.
Yeah.
We don't need the other group's cooperation to do piracy. In fact, it shouldn't be a cooperative experience when it comes to a piracy encounter. They should be fighting back. They should not want to be pirated. They should not want to lose their stuff. They should be preparing for a hostile encounter. And if they don't want to do that, that's on them, not us. Yeah, we aren't there for their entertainment and they're not there for ours.
Yeah, and that's what should happen. Like, people should be preparing themselves and be fighting back. And like the whole notion that, you know, a group of people just show up and they take your stuff without any regard or consideration for the other player, like, not counting as piracy. That is such a weird, bizarre, and ridiculous notion. It's like, I really don't understand what they're basing that off of. Like how is it not piracy? Is it because we don't talk to them? Like it's such a I really don't get it. And it's not like we're deciding what it, like, when we created our piracy tutorial series, and I said this a few streams ago, like we included extortion and ransom in our piracy framework, so people know how to do it if they choose to do it. So if people want to reach out and, you know, give players a chance, fucking go for it, dude. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's fun, but we showed you how to do it. Now go do it. Go have fun. Go have a blast. But for us, like, we're deciding, we decided to just cut that out because it's not really that fun. It's not as engaging as doing the other thing. And it's giving us the experience, and it's preparing us for the future, for when we're going to be in high stakes combat situations where simply talking to people isn't going to get us out of the situation. It isn't going to achieve us those goals. So, but the fact that people are saying that it's not piracy is just kind of weird, man. It's just kind of weird.
So, combat logging is an issue, but it's not completely gone, but it's been mostly addressed when it comes to piracy gameplay. But that doesn't mean that the person that we're trying to pirate, especially if we were trying to engage in extortion or ransom, just because they can't combat log anymore doesn't mean that they're going to be more cooperative. What it means is that they're going to have to deal with us in one way, shape, or form. They can still leave. They can still log out. They don't have to negotiate. They don't have to talk to us at all. You know, like, they're still going to be able to make the decision on whether or not they're going to engage in the encounter. People who we extorted or ransomed, they were the exception to the amount of piracy hits that we've done. Like, even though we have a lot of videos where we've extorted and ransomed people, they're still the exception. They're not the rule. The majority of players that we ended up pirating have no interest in engaging in any of that gameplay. And we have the experience to be able to sit there and say that. This isn't like conjecture, this isn't hearsay. Like, we have experience. We have years of experience of doing piracy against players. So we know that the majority of players are not interested in engaging in dialogue. Most of them aren't interested in engaging in fighting. CIG needs to empower players so that they feel like they can fight back better. So they feel like they got a chance against player pirates. But they're not helpless now. They can fight back now. It just requires them to prepare for it. And
yeah,
that's one of the problems.
While they can fight back, it doesn't. While they can fight back, and while it may be, and while like the changes to bed logging and combat logging in general with PES, while it may have like nudged them a little bit in that direction, it's still not fully incentivized. One of the biggest issues, like we talked about before, is the law system being not accommodating to defense against boarding actions. That right there is like the biggest thing that needs addressing. Biggest thing. As soon as people have that, it's like, okay, now people don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Like, you can fight back against pirates. People can do it. Piracy is only as difficult as what the target makes it for us. So when I always find it funny when people sit there and say, "Oh, you're just steamrolling these solo players," it's like it's not our fault they're fucking on their own. It's not our fault that they play the game by themselves. We don't choose our, we have a choice between who we want to hit and who we don't. A lot of the times we'll watch players who are just flying around in an Aurora, and we won't hit them.
Yeah, no,
we won't touch them. Like, we just ignore them because they're not worth our time.
Our gameplay is at the mercy of the players that we find out there. Like, dude, if we wanted to find a fucking industrial convoy, if we were able to find that, we would take that over fucking like any rock miner that's on a moon somewhere just fucking by himself. Like, are you kidding me? Like, if we had the opportunity to go fucking find those big hits, we'd take it. But we don't. The fucking game and the economy and the community just isn't at that state right now where something like that is the most frequent thing. So we're, like I said, we're just at the mercy of what we can find out there.
Yeah, and there are times where targets escape. It's very rare that it's happened based on their skill, but it has happened. And it's impressive. But when we look at it and we try and turn it into a video, it ends up just being boring. Not a fun video to watch. It's like, yeah, we chased them around for a bit and then they flew away. And you're kind of like, oh, well, it's kind of lame. Like, we have yet to get into a piracy encounter where we have disabled the target and they've managed to fight us off and repel us completely and push us off the position where we can't continue. I just feel the red flag video and your current gameplay style is out of spite more than anything. Fucking oath. You're 100% right on that. Fucking, it is spiteful. But then again, like, we come from a position of pirating over fucking 10,000 players and only having 1,000 payout. Alright, that means that there's 9,000 people out there, minimum, who reflect a significant portion of the community who are more than willing to use exploits or any other way, that shape or form to get out of fucking intended gameplay. And to sit there and go, oh, well, you should give them more of a chance. No, everybody's gonna get it. You're all gonna get it.
Here's the thing too, like, I wanted to bring up another point in this regard, because in some way, like, the people that like exploit their way, combat log, fucking do whatever they need to do, like, there is some form of justification on their side, because there are a lot of people to this day and in the past who have tried to, like, who have done piracy and who have found these players and fucking say, like, hey, if you pay us, we'll let you go, and then they pay, and then they don't follow through, and they just end up killing the guy after they get paid anyways. Like, that has left a sour taste in the mouths of industrialists and players like that. But one of the things that we did to counter that was through our branding. Whenever we would fucking find a player, we'd be like, hey, you're getting hit by Mongrel Squad. And we have always kept our word in that if you pay, we'll leave you alone. That has been our brand for years. So when people see that and they see the name, they can see it and go, okay, I'm dealing with these guys. They'll let me go. Cool. That's what branding has done. And as we've grown, as we have increased our reputation, like, for instance, like, we've done that all the way up until 318, all the way up until that. And still, knowing that, and like Agent said, out of 10,000 people that we've pirated, only a very small percentage of them actually followed through and not tried to, exploit, get out of it, combat log, etc., etc., etc. So it's like, we tried. We built up this brand, we built up this reputation, and people still turned around and decided to find a way out of it. And it's like, cool, man, you can do what you want, but now we're going to do what we want.
Moonbiter, we're actually moving away from using box missions to track ships, because we did notice that they were clipping in. There was a time when they didn't, and they'd actually stick to gravity zones that were external to the ships. That actually stopped being a thing, and when we started noticing, we started moving away from it. At the end of the day, though, our reason for going fucking red flag is our own. If you don't like it, that's okay. You don't have to. At the end of the day, players need to be prepared for any sort of encounter in this game. And there are going to be pirates out there who will do extortion and ransom still. And then there are going to be players out there who will just destroy your ship and then scoop the remnants. And there are going to be players out there who will disable your ship, board, and murder your entire crew and then take all your stuff. And their motivations shouldn't mean anything to you. At all. You're playing the game the way that you want. How you deal with, you know, threats that are presented to you or challenges that are put in front of you is entirely up to you. If you don't want to prepare for them, that's fine. Don't complain though and sit there and say that you don't have the tools at your disposal to be able to defend yourself, because everybody does. You're just not willing to use them. However, that shouldn't stop you from asking CIG to empower you to be able to continue engaging in gameplay, so that you can better defend yourself, better engage in the gameplay. But if your method of improving the game for yourself is by taking away from others, that's not on. Like that's not the way to go about doing things. Whenever we've been making suggestions, we don't try and take away from other players. We're trying to improve the gameplay for ourselves, which as a side effect normally improves it for others as well.
You'll love to see it, right, agents?
Your choices have made it harder for me to continue doing your older style because I've run into more self-destructs, is why I asked. I can tell you now, you're going to continue running in self-destructs. They haven't changed. The fact of the matter is like, the combat logging that was addressed resulted in more people self-destructing, because guess what? Players in this game are more than willing to cut their nose off to spite their own face, just so that you get less. If they can't win, they'll make sure that you lose as much as they can make you lose. So to sit there and say, because of what we're doing is why your gameplay is harder, is ridiculous. And I can say that because of experience. Players are more than willing to deny. Like, we could have kept doing extortion and ransom and we still would be encountering the same thing.
They've been doing it for years, man. Like, players have been self-destructing their ships on site the moment they see red for years. And it's been a steady occurrence, and it has not ramped up at all since we've made our video. It may seem that way, but it really hasn't. And the fact of the matter is, we're just fucking breaking the ships before they can even get a chance to self-destruct. But the notion that, like, you know, fucking we're causing all this massive this mass epidemic of self-destruct is it's just not, I don't think that's correct. It's not correct.
All you've done is just made it easier for them to make the decision. Oh, I'm getting pirated by a player? Fucking hold down backspace. I know that I'm not going to get away. I'll hold down backspace now. And, you know, hold out so that you can't bloody get me. That's it. That's all they're doing. We recognize that. How you can keep them from self-destructing? Brick them. Soft death the ship. You can scan ships and see when it goes into the self-destruct. So normally what we'll do is, like, whilst we're working on a ship, one of us will occasionally switch to scans just to see if they're initiated self-destruct, because that actually pushes us to disable the ship faster if we see that self-destruct notification.
Yeah, because like usually what'll happen is that like we usually have like a couple of people shooting at the ship, because you still need to be pretty delicate with bricking the ship, because if you apply too much damage, then by the time it gets to soft death, the damage will still, like, more damage will still be on its way, and by the time all the firing has stopped, you'll probably have completely blown up the ship due to the amount of people that were shooting at it. So like that's why we limit the amount of people shooting at it, and we usually have the people that aren't scanning the ship. So whenever we see self-destruct, we just ramp up the amount of people that are shooting at it, add DPS, and then it gets either like. And right now, like at that point, it's basically a toss-up. It'll either stay in soft death or it'll get blown up.
Yeah.
Because you need to get it to that state as quickly as possible, and at that point, it's just a coin flip. Roll the dice.
But if self-destruct has been initiated, you know for a fact that the ship's going to blow up, so you're better off trying to brick it before that happens. And, you know, like it's either you might accidentally destroy it, or you don't apply enough damage and it blows up and it does get destroyed. So you're better off taking the risk of accidentally destroying it yourself and go for the soft death. Self-destruct is a full kill.
Full kill, so, baby. Everything dead. Husk. Multiple pieces.
Just the way that it is. Like, players have options on how they want to play the game. They'll make decisions on how they want to play the game. If you expect others to play the game the way that you want, like Old Mate is here, like you can see the reaction that we had, like, no, like you don't tell us how to play the game. Well, guess what? The people that we pirate are like that too. And that's okay. There's only two entities that are responsible for your fun when it comes to playing Star Citizen. You and CIG. That's it.
I saw another comment here. It's like how there's like less of a code. It's like that's not entirely true. Like, because the code is still out there. Like, there's still several pirate orgs out there that are still doing extortion and still doing ransom.
We're still maintaining our code. We are true to our word. We have told everybody that if we see what's on your ship and we like it, we're going to brick your ship. We're going to board you, we're going to kill everyone, and we're going to take your stuff.
Our word, since the creation of this org, has been that we keep our word. And that's essentially our code. No matter what we do, if we say we're going to do something, we do it. That's it. But like I said, yeah, like we don't have, like, we may be a voice in the piracy corner of this community, and we may have like an authority on it, and we may have influence, which we do recognize, and obviously we thank everybody for the support. It's great. But we're not, we don't have a monopoly on it, because there are dozens of pirate orgs out there, some that are known, most of which are unknown, that still follow the basic, framework of piracy, where they do extortion, they do ransom and everything, and fucking, if you encounter them, they may offer it, they may not.
But that's the whole, that's the whole thing. Like it's not a monolith. Like, piracy's not a monolith. Everybody has their own way of doing it within the framework.
Yeah, Adrian Clark's made the point, like, we're not the gatekeepers for piracy. Like, we don't dictate if you get to do piracy or not. That's up to you. It's a choice. Like, we will show you different ways of doing piracy. We'll, share our knowledge. And then it's up to you if you want to use it. Like, we know that a lot of fucking security orgs use our videos as bloody intelligence to be able to come up with counter tactics. And it's like, all right, cool.
Training
good
material.
on you. Yeah. We know that.
Yeah.
And
same thing with our members list. It's like our worst kept secret.
yeah, we know that
you
you
can see all our names on our videos.
Yeah. Even though we redact our members list on our org page, we know for a fact that people are going through our videos and writing all the names down. Like, yes, we know that we have a reputation in the community and that a lot of other groups do look up to us or they see us, as a peer. But we're not gatekeepers of piracy. We don't dictate who does and doesn't do piracy. We don't tell others, you can only do piracy this way. How you do piracy is entirely up to you. But to sit there and tell us, like, oh, I don't like the way that you're doing piracy, it's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, that's it. I don't care. Like, if you want to do piracy your way, fine. If I'm going to do piracy my way.
You're talking in circles, Adrian. Stop it.
Yeah, I know. But it's to reiterate the point. It's to make sure that this point gets across. All right.
Listen, Adrian, I'm going to go potty. And if you're still on this point by the time I get back, we're going to have a problem. Okay?
That's all right. I'll start the next video without you. Better be quick. Oh, I know our changes had an impact, and I'm glad that it has, because other players should be wary of piracy. Like, they should be aware that there's danger in this game and be preparing accordingly for it. And if they don't want to, engage in the gameplay, that's fine. They can, exit the game. They can keep losing their stuff. Like, right now, we're all playing in different fish bowls. Okay, so it's easy to run away from us. It's so easy. Once we get server meshing, though, you're gonna have to stand and fight against groups like us. It's as simple as that. Or you can keep losing all your shit over and over again because all the pirates are in the same fishbowl as well, and we're all operating in the same areas, just like all the traders and haulers are. And then the security forces need to step up. And that Tony Zurovic video where he's showing, like Quantum, working with all the quanta there, and the little graphs showing, like as industrial activity starts increasing, piracy activity increases, and then security comes in, and it starts increasing, then piracy starts decreasing. That's how it's supposed to go, and players will replicate that before Quantum does. We're already doing it now. Except security isn't stepping up. There's heaps of people that want to do security. Heaps of organizations, man, that do security. And they hunger for people to hire them. Thank you, Weetsy. Thing is that,
Shut up, Asians.
Yeah, you're finally back. Alright, let's get on to the next bit of content, guys. Dobbs is getting upset because I'm talking in circles. So we're gonna move on to the next bit of content.
He does it all the fucking time. Like, we fucking...
I like to reiterate my points.
Yeah, but like... Okay.
Alright, so the next video that we're reacting to is a bit of a palate cleanser. I like to have a bit of a palate cleanser every now and again. Like, we have the topics, the discussion that we've been having has been a little bit spicy, but that's okay. We're all adults here. We all can have disagreements and still be friends.
Fuck you, Asians.
Shut your shit mouth. See? Alright. So, there's a link there. You might recognize this content creator. They feature on this channel quite regularly, and it's starting to get to a point where I feel like we're going to have to kidnap them one day, sooner rather than later, and drag them along for some piracy antics.
Speaking of Asians, we're in fucking point 2 right now. When the fuck are you going to start sending people out fucking ride-along, sending invites out? I thought we fucking talked about this.
Well, I actually want to create a tiered list first so that we get the right people first, because there's certain people who've supported the channel longer than others who want ride-alongs, and I want to make sure that those who were supporting us for longer get the priority first. But
send out a poll on like the public, like when did you discover Marvel Squad?
Yeah. But yeah, like for those, I don't know if you guys know about this guy yet. He's relatively new to Star Citizen. His name is Void Dude.
And he just surpassed us in subscribers, and now I feel inferior.
Well, maybe that's because he's put more videos out recently than what we have. And maybe if we put more gameplay videos out.
I am sorry. I have a life and a career that I need to advance because it is necessary for my survival.
Don't you understand, Dobbs? You're a YouTuber now.
You don't fucking pay me enough for that. Speaking of which, I'm still waiting for fucking...
Yeah. I'll get it sorted soon. Still waiting for YouTube to pay me. In fact, I'm pretty sure they should have paid by now. Alright, but Void Dude, it's more peak Star Citizen piracy. I think he's getting lazy with his thumbnail titles because he's just doing part 2. But it's more peak piracy, or peak Star Citizen piracy.
It looks like I think he's gonna start with the fucking board gamer thing again, right? That's so funny, man. It's so funny.
Right, let's see.
Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Once again, I'm Board Void Gamer Dude Board Void Gamer, and it's time for some more news with Voidy Zin. Say hello, Voidy Zin.
Hello, Voidy Zin.
This past week, the worst Star Citizen YouTube channel in existence, Voidy Vids, somehow got over 10,000 subscribers, which is incredulous because all he really seems to do is make videos of him being bad at doing epic space adventure pirate things.
Oh, here he is!
Oh, look at that is.
Thanks.
You got killed by a Uberev. By the way, agents, that wheeze. Did you hear that fucking wheeze?
Yes, I did.
Oh my goodness. That's so good, man. And he censored me. God damn it! I heard that. I was censored. I don't appreciate it.
I think he also tries to grasp a wide audience and make sure that kids are included, whereas we don't. We just don't give a fuck. Kids don't watch our content. It's not for you. You shouldn't be learning how to steal things from other people. That's not right.
Yeah. Video games equate to real life behavior, guys.
Yes, 100%.
Oh God, buddy. That's...
But you tell us, what do you think, Voidy Zin?
Hello, Voidy Zin.
In unrelated news, Voidwood has even more epic space pirate adventures from when 3.18 was freshly live. That's correct, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's Peak Star Citizen Piracy Part 2. Let's begin!
Run, kid, run!
No. Why?
Oh, gee.
We're not at Brio's Breakyard for once, and since the events of the previous video, known salvage enthusiast It's Not Fair and known cargo liberator Nerve have demoted me to the rank of vulture box bitch. where I cannot unknowingly collide with invisible Karak loot pinata wreckage.
And then we get
This
full
is
up again,
probably
then we go.
this is the smartest thing that these guys have done.
Where's my bed? What the fuck is this, bro? I signed up for the salvage mission and this place is a fucking dump.
Kudos to these guys.
It's where the peasants don't live.
We talked about the farm salvage in there.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's fucked that up too.
He's already messed. Oh
Hello?
no,
So
no,
what's up?
no.
And he got lost.
Get back to work, you fucking asshole.
We make good progress, but like all honest opportunistic privateers, when the exhaustive manual labor gets boring, it's time to find someone else to do it for you. It just so happens that Nerve has picked up a pair of targets who have accomplished just that. We're on a Crusader Mercury RMC runner now, and as you know, all good ships have a name, so I decided to call this one Flawless PP2.
Vendetta, C2 Hercules Starlifter.
Let's try catching
Flawless PP2.
It's nearby.
Hello guys. I'm struggling to find some salvage. Do you mind if I come grab some here quickly? Just fill up.
confirm if they reply.
No shot that they're gonna buy that.
Yeah.
No shot that fucking that somebody walks up to you and says, "Please, sir, can I have some salvage?" No, man. There's no shot that they fall for it.
The funniest thing is like, what was it? Tripped Up at Jumptown on our channel, but he started similarly to that, where one of our guys who went there to Jumptown that Trip Rodriguez and his crew were operating at. He goes there and says, "Oh, can I grab some boxes to put in my Reliant core? And I just want a couple of boxes and that's it." Anyway, they tell him no, and what you see in the video is the result. So, if some random dude comes up to you at a Jumptown and you guys are running a fucking Hugtown type thing, and they ask to if they can get some boxes, just be aware they may be part of Mongol Squad, and if you don't let them take the boxes, Mongol Squad will take them anyway. Is that the video link?
Yeah, I put the video link for Tripped Up at Jumptown in the chat. So if you want to watch it and see what he's talking about,
Go watch that.
Right there.
It's a good video. Yeah, Kingy was really polite about it too, eh? And then he comes to us and he's telling us in chat, we were hunting for targets and couldn't find anything. And Kingy jumps in comms and he's like, "Hey, buddy, these assholes have Jumptown locked down and they got a whole bunch of boxes. You guys want to pirate them?" I'm like, "Fucking yes."
Wait, what did they say about fucking Mongol Squad? I missed that part.
What? Which in this video or the other one?
No, the other one. We were talking about were they mentioning Mongol Squad when they were talking to Kingy?
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would have remembered something like that.
No, they didn't
mind.
know anything about Mongol Squad until after we'd done the hit. But they were good sports about it at the end. Like, they were like, fucking, this was the best thing that happened. They weren't even angry that they lost the cargo.
One of my favorite things that happened was right after Kingy took off with the ship, you heard one of the guys in their comms. He sounded so fucking defeated. He's like, "Kingy, he was in the ship. He just killed everybody and he fucking ran away with the ship. He's got it, bro. It's fucking over." Like, it was so funny. He sounded so defeated. Everyone else was like, "No, wait, we can probably get it back. No, he can't sell it." He's like, "No, dude, it's fucking over, man. He's gone, bro. He fucking took it."
Yes. I'm so disappointed that we didn't have Kingy's perspective of that. It would have been a better video if we had his perspective, but he wasn't recording at the time, which is okay.
Wasn't he a prospect at the time?
Yes, he was, but we hadn't put that ruling in yet. Yeah. Alright. Let's keep watching. See what Bored Void Gamer Dude has to show for more peak Star Citizen Piracy Part 2.
They locked you at all.
They're moving boxes across.
I think it's a boarding situation, peeps.
Yeah.
Fuck the EVA.
I don't know if they'll see me though.
Uh-oh, music.
Is this front ramp open?
Front ramp's open. Likely not. I'm busy coming in, so they'll be keeping an eye on me.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy flawless tactical boarding procedures.
You in?
I'm in. Oh, I fell over on entry.
Oh, no.
Get up.
Please. Please.
Got him. He's down.
Oh my god, dude. Hold on. Did he have a gun on him?
Above the vulture.
No, he had a tractor beam attachment out.
Yeah, I know he had. I know he had one out, but I was wondering if he had a gun on him. Because, like, if he didn't, holy shit, he's lucky. He is so fucking lucky.
I'm approaching the bridge. No one's in the bridge. It's empty.
Self-destruct?
You don't worry. I'm gonna just keep him shut down with this.
Do you want me to
Can you
board
get
him?
on and board? Yeah, one of you needs to board him.
I'll go for it.
Nicely done, boys.
Is he incapped?
He looks
Somebody's
incapped to
Any
me.
distortions at him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring the MSR closer.
Let's just
more
take
in
the Herc.
But the MSR's got all our RMC on it.
Yeah, you take the MSR, Nev takes the Herc. Yeah, put the arrow on the Herc, take the Herc out. Is that guy down?
Yeah, they're
He's-
both down.
he's-
They're both in cap.
Yeah. I shot him with the Gatling's arrow.
Well,
Should
no,
probably
get onto
ditch
the
the
Herc, take the
bodies.
Herc.
There's
Pretty good.
a whole bunch of boxes of something I've never seen before. It's a black and yellow box.
It's fine,
Okay.
we'll figure it out
And
later.
the MSR, where are you gonna fly that? Wait for the
Yeah.
C2 to be
I'm
good.
gonna raise you, my friend. Sorry for the inconvenience. Oof, you
Get
blew
on.
me away, bro. Holy
Nev, I'm just assorting your arrows so that it, like,
he's raised.
come
I'm
up
getting the
come
fuck out
up.
of here.
Okay. Herc is in
Hello?
dead space.
What?
What?
My God,
Yeah,
these
we raised
entries,
them for
man,
whatever
come on.
reason. I
I
don't
don't
know.
care
why.
enough to even fight you, honestly. I'll wait till you take the Man,
What?
literally too chill
That's
to fight
lame.
back.
Wow.
Shame.
Lame.
Hello,
Hey,
dude.
Raccoon.
Okay, ready? You ready to get clear?
We have appropriated some
Yeah.
things. Good fine.
Hey, to Nerve, eh? Yeah, well done, Nerve. Holy shit.
Someone share for sake.
The shit's done now. Now we're just reaping the rewards.
Are you munching this thing already?
Yeah, 100%.
Not unlike a pack of voracious lions or hyenas or some weird lion-hyena freak hybrid creature.
Hyenas? Oh, sorry. That's. You're not going to get that
Wrong.
reference. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wrong crowd.
Nothing goes to waste as we figure out our logistics, procure all the cargo, and get to work on salvaging the remains of our hit.
Underneath here. Oh yeah, the underneath is sweet, juicy bits.
Do we want to make a call that we get the vultures to 12 SCU and then go load onto the MSR?
Where are the pack rats when you need
Cool,
them?
yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Cool, I'm gonna go sell. Where do I sell this?
Orison, TDD.
It's time to take Flawless PP2 to Orison for the sale, and indeed, what a
Remember the
flawless and
ship name.
fruitful piratical salvage wombo combo this was. Just listen to me from the past waxing poetic about the epic gameplay our ludicrous space game has provided us with.
Guys, I'm just gonna take a moment to appreciate how cool this was.
Yeah.
We went salvaging, did some piracy. I'm on my way to a f***ing gas giant. Oh, crashed. This connection will actually-
The feet. I feel that. I feel that. That hurts. That
Just
hurts so
come
much.
on,
Does anyone have a marker for Voidy?
Oh, well, never mind.
That joke was set up so well. I just want to point that out. that joke was set up really, really well. Because I was thinking about like saying like, oh man, I really love like when people have like their really cool like new experience with piracy and everything. And I was going to talk about that, and then that happened. Man, that's
feel
fucking
that.
good. I like that.
I feel that so
yeah,
much.
dude. That's happened to us hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. Yep. Classic.
I don't have the footage, but we tried to find my MSR later, and if you see It's Not Fair, Major Star Stuff, Nerve, or Raccoon comment on this video about what happened after I managed to get back into the game, don't believe them. They are dodgy, not to be trusted, privateering pirates after all.
Yeah,
To
they're hanging out with you,
10,000
Void Dude.
subscribers,
So of course
let's
they are.
embark on another peak Star Citizen piracy adventure. Surely this time, nothing will go wrong, and it will be the hit of the century where we actually succeed and sanctify our fake space money bank accounts
God, the Reclaimer is so cool, man. Just look at that fucking thing. It just looks fucking cool, doesn't it, Agents?
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, fucking great.
They put a lot of time and effort into
We're in
that landing
Flawless
animation.
PP2 the second now, but not for long, as known Scout
Flawless
Nerve
PP2 the
makes a
second.
discovery.
Wait. That's a Reclaimer, boys.
Ah,
A Reclaimer.
ah.
Okie dokie.
What is it? I don't understand. It's something far out. I want to get closer. Captain Chris. Reclaimer. Captain Chris.
Yep.
Fair, should I come on to you?
Yeah.
I gracefully board, it's not Fair's police cruiser, and it's time to get to work.
We're gonna try and get a boarding action. If that goes south, then
Nice.
we're gonna have to try and soft death the ship. That's where you'll have to come in. Failing that, if we get a boarding action, we manage to knock them off, then we'll take the ship away and go to dead space and load from there.
It's still 17, and they still haven't moved. My finger's getting sore from holding up.
All right, let's go.
All right, boys, let's do this.
All right, I'm going in cold to
Yep.
try and do a drop off. Door ramps
Wait.
opening.
Did he just say he's going in cold?
I didn't hear that. Maybe you did. Fuck, it's hot around. It's hot around. He's bringing him in cold.
Yeah, where's it?
He's gonna bring him in cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Going in cold.
It's
They've
turned
gone
red.
red. They've gone red. Okay, Voidy, get ready to jump.
He's gonna fall out of the ship. Oh, no.
I think on red.
And go.
Going.
Yeah, EVA spinning. Yeah. Fuck EVA.
Okay,
fine,
QD.
Missile coming in on them. Multiple missiles coming in on them.
Oh man, come on, why did they go red? Mutiny.
Yeah, they're dampened.
There are 3 missiles coming in, Voidy. 1,
Oh,
2, 3.
Damn.
I'm quite a ways
Looks nice,
off. I'm
dude.
trying to get to the.
Yeah.
I'm on my way to
They're
the airlock.
gonna get killed by the station,
Cool.
guys.
Yeah, they're gonna get nuked by the station.
Pop,
Oh, no.
pop, pop.
So I should not board.
No, probably not.
Killed.
We'll have to just take what we
No,
can
go
get.
for it. Go for gold.
They're gonna have to respond to this to the station.
So the ship is red and it's being attacked by the station. It's still intact. So he needs to board that ship and take control of it so he can jump out before
Yeah.
the fucking station kills it. That would be the correct course of action here.
Yeah, push him
Because
faster.
the alternative is that they wait, the ship gets bricked, and then the station keeps shooting at it, and the Reclaimer gets destroyed with whatever cargo is inside. So let's see if that happens. Let's see what happens here.
Hitting them.
Okay, I'm starting to hit them now anyway. Let's go.
Okay, you are red fair as well.
Oh, geez, soft
No.
gas.
That's
Oh
it.
no.
It's
More missiles
bricked.
coming in. 2.
Watch out, 40 incoming missiles.
Two,
It will,
three.
it will kill them.
There they go.
Yep, there it goes.
Let's be ready to
I'm
sweep
getting
them.
missiles. Whoa.
Yeah, fair. Okay, you've turned off red. You should stop having missiles incoming.
I do not. I've definitely got missiles coming in.
There's 2 more missiles coming. 3.
I heard that one.
Handsome viewer, if you have not caught on by now, I will let you in on the secret fact that this peak Star Citizen piracy series of videos is actually a sarcastic title for a series of not peak Star Citizen piracy fails. Yes, I know, what a huge shock. We just could not catch a f***ing break during these early 3.18 live days.
Could there still be people here?
Probably not, though.
I think they didn't make it.
I see the route.
I've got a marker inside. It's probably the dead guy.
It's so weird how this is what the ship becomes on the inside the moment it gets like destroyed. Like all the entities on the inside just get fucking deleted.
Yeah.
It's kind of immersion breaking because like literally it's just a hole. Honestly, it's like it. I don't know. What do you think about this, Agents?
They'll fix it eventually, but yeah, it's actually kind of annoying because you end up colliding with invisible shit that you can't see because it's invisible. That's what that means. You can't see it, and like sometimes there'll still be small gravity zones that'll suck you into some area of the ship that you can never get out of again, and then you're stuck there, and then you got to fast travel back to medbed. It's frustrating.
Yeah, that happened on a Carrick a little while ago. I can remember it after we fucking blew it up. I've tried getting in there to fucking find a box that was still attached to the grid somehow, and I got fucking trapped in there.
EVA. Oh, pieces just fell off. I see other people moving in there, I think. Very strange. Wait, no, there's someone EVAing below you.
Below me.
Yeah, there's a guy EVAing around.
It could be lagged. I'm gonna stand still. You tell me if you see movement. Oh!
Holy shit!
Getting bolted.
Shoot again. Okay, I see where you're shooting. I see him.
Like an orange guy?
Holy fuck!
He's down.
Oh, nice. I see more markers inside the ship.
This reminds me of something. I kind of want to show you this clip, agents, because I don't know if you saw it, but we were pirating a constellation over Yella a couple of weeks ago, and the sun was on the completely opposite side of the moon. So we were in pitch black darkness, and we jumped out of the ship, and the owner of the Connie fucking got out of the ship and started EVAing, started shooting at some of our Marines. And I was looking at the tracers that were coming out of his gun, and I only saw his tracers. It was like pitch black darkness, and I was just barely able to see him because he was just barely getting silhouetted in front of the stars that were behind him. I saw like this tiny little black figure just kind of floating around and covering up the stars that were behind him, and that's how I was able to see him, dude. Like on the clip, it is almost impossible for you to see him. And I can show this to you like either right now, either on stream or off stream, but like, dude, it was actually crazy.
We'll look at it off stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we're nearly 3 hours in.
Woody, you and Fair, I think, work on getting those boxes out ASAP and get out of here. I think we can use the Cuddy Blue.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we don't have hostiles to deal with.
Yeah, I can't account for the third player.
I see player 2. He's dead.
Okay,
I see, all three dead.
I'm hitting things.
It's not fair that when I accidentally bump into an invisible wreckage, I get called dumb. I decided to call this one, I'm sorry.
I'm dumb.
But when It's Not Fair bumps into invisible wreckage, it's not his fault because he risked becoming a cliche science fiction transporter accident.
Oh, oh
god, why are you flying around the wreckage?
Disappeared for a bit. Well, I'm with
Oh
you,
my
mate.
god.
I'm gonna pull them out towards the rear hatch.
I'm right
Nice one, Fair. Okay, no view extract, I'll place.
Rocket coming?
Rocket coming in. Oh,
Yeah,
that's not me.
Voidy
That's
has
not
a
me.
fucking crime stat.
Run. See, that right there is a perfect example of why you always need a person in the pilot seat, excuse me. You never really want to leave a ship unattended like that, especially a ship that's supposed to be carrying cargo. Because think of the alternative if he wasn't in the pilot seat. That ship would have been gone if he wasn't in.
Yeah,
So, like,
they would have known. They would have just... I was going to say, they would have just watched missiles smack into the side of the thing and destroy the ship.
Yeah, again, so like something as simple as watching radar, missile evasion, anything, right? Always have somebody in the seat of a ship, especially the loading ship. Because he did the right thing there. So, good stuff.
Jesus.
You turned red for like half a second.
Yeah, probably because
Am I red now?
No, you're not red now.
Okay, I'm coming back.
I will not go back in your caddy, sorry about that. That's probably me.
Right.
Yeah, that was your fault, Voidy.
Okay, get ready. I'm ready.
I'm on board.
We make away with yet another measly 7 boxes. I guess we'll never know why the Reclaimer turned red and got brutalized by the unfeeling space station. But events like this hurt my greedy soul and are the bane of holy space prophets everywhere. Come on, Chris. Known space game critic Salty Mike brought a comment to my attention recently by username /O \, which reads, Star Citizen's Alpha has an alphaception if you will, and much like Voidy having a successful maze delivery, it's never going to be fully completed. Comments are great for content, and all we need to do is actually pull off some successful Star Citizen piracy to break the perpetual development curse so CIG can finish the game. So to celebrate 10,000 subscribers even more, and to say thank you to all of you handsome viewers, hold my beer as we solo speedrun this Brio's Breakyard World Record Time Piracy Smuggle Hunter Classic Voidy Vids patented epic space adventure. We're in an Origin Junkworks 350R now, and as you know, all good ships have a name, so I decided to call this one I'm So Glad I Didn't Self-Destruct This Ship. The plan is to self-destruct I'm So Glad I Didn't Self-Destruct This Ship and hide at Brio's for endless hours as usual until a target arrives, but today this Constellation Andromeda was already here. Will this finally be the peak Star Citizen piracy moment we've been waiting for? Will I actually manage to get away with some slam? Will Tony Z ever come out of hiding? Will CIG stop wiping for more than a month or two? I don't know. Here's an advert.
Oh shit!
I'm so glad I didn't self-destruct this ship.
I love the R97 for that.
Oh yeah, dude. Good breaching tool.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, buddy.
Holy Void dude, that was so sleek.
Is that missing an engine?
Far. Yes, handsome viewer, I know. And in the most uncharacteristic plot twist of all, prior to hitting the record button, I had prepped a Drake Interplanetary Corsair at a super secret location for the Slammy Salami handover.
You're at Shubin. Bro. Okay.
Oh wait, they're talking in chat. What up? Oh. To the guy that shot me at Brio's Breakyard, please go play GTA 5 if you want to be annoying. And Void Dude responds, oh, and then he goes, afraid to talk? No, just really busy transferring this illicit. Oh, I'm pretty sure he's gonna show this. Please,
the
please
only
show
annoying
it.
thing about this situation is getting the first box of what I hope is Slam out of this tight Andromeda cargo lift.
Star Citizen Chan Kimochi.
We're in the before-mentioned Drake Interplanetary Corsair now, and as you know, all good ships have a name, so I decided to call this one, oh my, we're actually going to make it this time around. Just look at that full
don't say
load
it
of
until you're selling
grade
it.
A Star Citizen illicit knows what, because I haven't actually scanned this yet in my cargo hold. We're not going to sell this haul just yet, because our friend who loaned us his Andromeda earlier has been riding up global chat and offered a measly 100,000.
Alright, what did he say? Okay, forever kills Void Dude. Bro, this guy is making way more than 100k. Most lemon maze, what about that? Doesn't matter, kill him. Man, fucking cheapskate.
Only 100k?
Dude. Fucking,
yeah.
fucking cheapskate, bro. Holy shit.
1,000 credits ahead. I'm not one to judge, but what the actual only 100,000 credits for my head seems a bit on the stingy side. We store this load at Grimhex to sell later and return in a Mercury Star Runner to claim the rest of our hard-won prize. And as you know, all good ships have a name, so I decided to call this one...
What?
What the f?
What?
It seems that in the early days of 3.18 Live, the terrifying plague of spontaneous ship hemorrhaging is not exclusive to the invisible asteroids surrounding
one of the boxes
Grimhex.
may have been clipping into the fucking... what's it called? Into the elevator.
My guess, one of the boxes was loose inside the
Yeah.
cargo grid, and the thruster wash from the MSR clipped it around and blew up the fucking Connie. That's probably what happened. There was a loose box that got moved through thruster wash and blew up the ship.
Yep. And Sorrel's answer is correct. If you're playing with org mates.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait.
Voidude, I don't hear you warn. That NPC is unhinged. You should get out fast. No, handsome viewer, I'm not going to let a barely functioning, glitched out NPC stop me from clearing what remains of my luckiest of Brio's hits.
Is it still going? Just go for gold, mate. Just do it.
Uh-oh.
See how he's in an armistice zone?
What?
And the ship's attacking him still?
Armistice. Yeah. I was about to, okay.
I have engaged many targets at the Breakyard over the last few months. I am a veteran of the Slam Wars. I am
There's a
not
fucking
shaken
A2
by the
right there.
Hercules that has landed nearby. I am excited for further potential piracy opportunities. I
Nice
am the
fucking job.
incarnation of overconfidence.
Oh, why? Why? You did the exact... They did the same thing to you what you did to old mate.
Star Citizen, epic smuggler, pirate amongst these grim, dark, unholy stars. At least the main haul is safe at Grimhex, which, believe it or not, I was able to sell safely some time later. We return fast in an arrow which probably has a good name, like these pirate assholes. I want my haul back.
What? That's
Why
rude.
are you getting out there?
What? What? I'm trying so hard to piece together what is happening?
But now we have a decision to make. At this moment, we could either board the Hercules, which would be the correct, smart thing to do, or we could make the wrong decision and go into the facility and see if we could sell from what the f***.
Oh, he turned his torch on this time.
Wow, what classic Voidy. That was the wrong decision to make.
They're on the ship, they're transferring
they would
this.
eventually land to make the transaction of whatever these two epic pirate lads had managed to procure, but they played it much safer and smarter than myself and probably off to Hurston or something. I remained stranded at Brio's for a while until this inquisitive buccaneer came around to say hello. We had an epic steering competition until my shattered will faltered.
Oh no.
Sorry, bro, you gave me a fright.
You gonna take his railgun? Yep.
That railgun is worth more than everything else there.
Oh, well, never mind. Wow, 10,000 subscribers. I actually cannot believe it. This insane milestone came much faster than I had anticipated, and I would like to sincerely thank all of you handsome viewers for watching this ridiculous YouTube channel. I still feel like I don't quite know what I'm doing, but what I do know is that I want to keep going and growing and never want to stop documenting these epic space adventures in our ludicrous space game. I would also like to give a special thank you to Mongol Squadron.
Wait, stop. I'm looking at Void's channel. He is less than 10 subs away from 10k. Can we get a little hype train started?
Let's start a poll.
I want us to be responsible for this right now. We're gonna do this right now. Oh, he did it! We did it! It's right there! The number!
Congratulations, Voidy.
Congratulations for Voidy on your rapid rise to 10,000 subscribers.
This was genuinely such a cool moment. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. And one last big special thanks to the channel's Patreons. Your support inspires me to keep going and doing my best to make each video better than the last. Thinking of pledging to this ludicrous space game? Then use one of the referral codes on screen now for a free 5,000 starting credits. If you enjoy my content and are interested in supporting the channel beyond a like and a subscribe, check the links in the description. It
Literally
genuinely helps
wearing
me
the
to
exact
continue to
same
produce
thing. Wait,
videos.
really?
Thank you so much for watching.
Nah,
I'll
different
see you on
shirt.
the verse.
The
Cheers.
last week's was a blue one. This is actually grey.
You had a good run.
Hey, congratulations on the 10k again, Void Dude. Thank you very much for the shout out. As always, Void Dude's videos are entertaining to watch. Very good storytelling. Very good storytelling. Very well deserved as well for the 10k. I'm glad that we're able to help. Alright, so that's it pretty much for the content that we got here, guys, but Dobbs, did you want to do that one last thing?
Oh yeah, fucking Metroximus sent this in a little while ago, a couple of days ago, and I think this might be neat for us to do.
Alright, stream's been going for like 3 hours, so I don't want to rush this, but at the same time we're going to punch through this. So, this is a Star Citizen piracy ship tier list maker. This was suggested by Metroximus.
Okay,
Yeah,
so before we start anything, we need to change the top tier from Mantis to Cutlass Blue. Let's just get that out of the way and throw Cutlass Blue up there in that high tier, because quite honestly, nothing is going to beat that ship for piracy. I'm sorry, it's nothing. Throw it up there.
It's already up there. Can't you see? Are you not watching?
We can probably add another tier down at the bottom for the Antares, but I'm not sure if the Antares is in this list.
No, we just don't put it in there.
Yeah, okay. All right. So
Well,
the first ship we have is the Eclipse.
The Eclipse? What? Oh, you're not going to go through every single one, are you? Let's find the Cutlass Blue first. Where's the rest of the... Shouldn't there be more ships being displayed here? I'm pretty sure there should.
That's what we have. Oh no, the Antares is there. Oh my god, the Antares is in there. Okay, hold on. Wait. Antares. Put that at the very bottom.
Well, I'm just going to ignore it. Like the rest of the EMP ships.
Okay, so we have... Okay, what do you think about the Eclipse?
It's situational. Like...
Definitely situational. I would honestly think it's good for... See, it's hard to like apply this to piracy when a lot of this just sort of relates to combat. So like in combat, it's good for just a fucking delete button for heavy ships, right? If you know how to bomb correctly, you could just fucking fly up to a large ship and just delete it. We used to use the Eclipse in piracy ops like during the fucking Laranite rush. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say like if it was back then I would probably throw that up in like an A tier or something, because that was like pretty critical for what we used to do back then. But nowadays it's like we don't really need this for piracy ops, so I'd say that belongs in the D tier.
This next one, that looks like an Andromeda. Like,
is that the Andromeda?
Are we really going to go through each one of these ships? I think that this will take us hours if we go through each individual ship. If we go by the tiers, I think we'll focus more on. It's not that we get it done faster. It'll be, I think it'll be a bit more relevant.
What would be considered S tier then? So like,
well,
I see.
Right, so we're talking about the current iteration of piracy. So one of them, like for S tier, like Mantis.
Yeah, the Mantis for sure.
And I'm going blind, I can't fucking see it. Where the fuck is it? Something
Pretty
doesn't
sure there's
seem
an
right
arrow in
about
here
this tier
somewhere.
list. There is an arrow, like right there, hovering over it. Last time I looked
There's
at
an
this tier
SRV
list,
here.
there was a lot more
SRV is
ships.
SRV is definitely S tier. Arrow. I'll
Oh,
put
there
the
it is,
arrow
right
up there
there.
S tier. Arrow's a good fucking good light fighter to have in the composition. So I'd say like the arrow, the mantis. Do we want to put the SRV? The SRV is technically not in it, but I think we can all agree that the SRV is going to be S tier.
No. So I'd put it at A tier because if S tier is what I would consider absolutely necessary for piracy. Like, you can get away with doing piracy without the SRV. You can, because you can bring cargo ships to the target. You don't need the SRV. However, it does help enhance your capability. So I'd actually put, like, the SRV would be sitting at A tier, but I wouldn't put it at the start. Like, it'd be further along down the
Do we want to
line.
put the? Do we want to put the vulture in A tier?
Yeah, Vulture would also go there.
Vulture goes in A tier. Yeah. The Reclaimer.
Where are you seeing the
Definitely not
Reclaimer?
A tier. I don't think the Reclaimer is A tier
No.
because I think it might go down into B tier because like it requires a little bit more resources. Actually, I don't know about that.
Well, no, because
I
if
think
you got the
it's- I think
SRV in
the
A
Reclaimer's a little
tier,
bit of a
then
tar.
the Reclaimer should be in A tier as well. Because
Yeah. Okay.
because the reason why you've got the SRV there is to move it somewhere else, and so you might as well take it to a centralized location where you got a Reclaimer there. You can offload the cargo into a hauler, and then concurrently get the Reclaimer to start salvaging.
All right. What about so you put the Reclaimer in B tier?
Yeah. Oh no, I'll bring it up
What
to
about-
A.
Bring it up to A tier. All right. What about the Gladius? Honestly, A or S.
A lot of people are going to be upset about this, but it's actually going to go A. And the reason why it's going A tier is purely because that stupid blue fucking light. Dead set, fuck it off. Why? Why does it have a big fuck off light on the back of it? You can see that shit from 150 kilometers away. It's retarded. Like, fuck it off. It doesn't need it. So stupid.
All right. I think the Buccaneer goes into B tier. B for Buccaneer.
No, fucking Buccaneer. Where the fuck is it?
Maybe it goes
It
down
pains
to
me.
C tier.
No, it goes to D tier. It pains me because I like the Buccaneer. I like the shape. I've always liked the Buccaneer. But it is fucking damn near useless for piracy ops if you get any sort of resistance. You lose an engine, you're fucked. It's like if the Mantis didn't have QED, it wouldn't even be on the list. Because losing an engine on the Mantis, you're fucked. Losing an engine on the Buccaneer, you're fucked. And it is so easy to lose an engine. Like, it's firepower. People go, oh yeah, but it's firepower and it's boom and zoom. That doesn't matter. We're pirates. We need to be able to lock a target down, and then we need to be able to dominate the position. You can't boom and zoom locking down a position. Because while you're fucking off to the blue yonder doing your zooming part, buddy, your opponent just turns around and goes and claps your fucking other mates who aren't in Buccaneers. Or, well, you're unlucky enough that as you're doing the zooming part, they take an engine off and you go fucking zooming off into the blue yonder doing fucking 360s.
Alright, moving on. C2, A tier. Possibly the best cargo transport ship in the game.
Yeah. That said, we do need to put a cargo hauler in S tier. Because this is for the transport of a haul.
Well, Caterpillar?
I would,
Honestly,
that
I
up
would
there.
put the C2. I'd put the C2 over the Caterpillar. But the thing that makes this interesting is that the Caterpillar is much more defendable than the C2 from a weapon placement perspective. Like, those turrets will fucking rip any ship to shreds if it gets close. Like, those turrets are actually dangerous.
Yeah, and that's
the C2. The C2 is very, very agile, very, very fast. It could cut through Atmel like a knife through butter.
We're not hitting targets in that mode.
So would you put the Caterpillar in S tier?
Yes. It's sitting in S tier right now. Battle Pillar for starters, not a Caterpillar, Battle Pillar. Right? You deck it out for combat. Those turrets are actually quite potent. Right? It may not be the fastest ship, but your Caterpillar isn't going to be flying around by itself either once you got a load in it. Once it's loaded up, you're bloody escorting that thing. You can load multiple compartments concurrently. Yeah, like part of the problem with the C2 is the fact that it's got long ramps, so boxes can get stuck on that, do damage, and then cause the ship to blow up. You don't really have that problem with the Caterpillar. The Caterpillar, you can open up, the sides, stick a box loader in each one of the compartments, and then just those box loaders pull into the Caterpillar and load each compartment separately.
Yeah, it's actually extremely efficient from a box moving perspective, as opposed to like the C2 where it's just one big open mouth and you kind of just like shove them all in there. Yeah. Like this, it kind of like segments it in like very, very dedicated pods and compartments where you can just like pull boxes into. And I've actually seen it. Like, we've actually unloaded a C2 with a Caterpillar and fucking unloaded that thing pretty quickly using the Caterpillar. So I think I would agree with this. Like, the only thing that's holding the C2 back is the fucking turrets. The turrets are just completely fucking ass.
Yeah. And the thing is that you could supplement, you can supplement the lack of, additional cargo space by making sure that you take multiple Cutlass Blues and then just shove more boxes in the Blues. Or you could take 2 Caterpillars. Like, the Caterpillars are quite potent as they are. If you got crews in the turrets, it's going to be hard for anybody to touch you, especially if you end up with escorts.
Yeah, like, we've done nightmare scenarios with a fucking Caterpillar, with like fully crewed Caterpillar with fully good components and everything, dude. It's a bitch to take down, and it's a bitch to get close to if the turrets are fucking on.
Yeah.
What about the Carrack? Honestly, Carrack, if the cargo pods could be lowered, which it will be in the future, be an easy S tier. Easy S tier. But because it's not, I think this goes down into C tier. C for Carrack.
D. Actually, no, it doesn't go to D. The Carrack is one of those ships, I'd actually put it in B, and there's a utility behind it that a lot of people don't consider. Like, yes, you can put cargo in it. It can carry a snub fighter, it can carry some small ground vehicles, it's got a med bed. I wouldn't choose it for its cargo carrying capacity until later, in which case it does actually bump up, and I'd consider putting it in S tier because it has speed, firepower, cargo carrying capacity, med bed. Once the drones are working, you'll have the drones. Like, fucking the Carrack will be, an S tier piracy ship, but for now it goes down to B, purely because of those stupid cargo pods not opening up.
Yeah. About the Hurricane. Hurricane, heavy fighter. Not bad at all, man.
So, Hurricane I would put as A tier. It could sit at S tier, but I'd actually do... Where the fuck did it go? I was looking at it a second ago. Where... Is there a Scorpius here? I see the Antares. I'm not putting the Antares up there.
The Scorpius isn't in here, which is fucking goofy. I don't know why it is. Whoever made this tier list isn't really putting the right ships in there. If that was Metroximus, I'm sorry.
Well, that's the thing, is that edit the label, drag the images in the order, like, okay. Because I've seen a tier list which had more ships on it. But yeah, I'm not putting the Scorpius out there. So yeah, the Scorpius would actually be sitting in S tier. Thing is that, so throw that up there. SRV can go down all the way down the end. So the Cutlass Blue, even though it's on its own, if you had to choose a ship, you were starting out as a pirate and you wanted to go for a ship to do piracy with, you're by yourself, go a Cutlass Blue. It has firepower, it has QED, and it has limited cargo carrying capacity. But those three things right there give you the ability to be able to pirate rock miners and small cargo holders. When you bump it up into a larger group though, and you put a turret gunner in, you've actually got quite a potent heavy fighter. And you still got the cargo carrying capacity, the QED, and the ability to move around systems fast, so you can actually use it as a decent scout as well. The Mantis being an S tier is because it has the capability of being able to snare targets out of quantum travel, and that's what you definitely want. But you can get away with not snaring targets. Like you can camp places with a Cutlass Blue, use the dampener to prevent them from escaping while you attack them and brick them, and then, you know, board, move whatever cargo you can. But the Mantis expands on where you can hit targets. The Arrow is chosen purely because it doesn't have a stupid fucking blue light behind it. Its combat capability is nearly on par with the Gladius, although you got to be comfortable with having one less shield generator. But you also have a smaller hit profile too, so you can use that to your advantage. But if the Gladius didn't have that blue light, it would probably be Arrow in A tier and the Gladius up here in S tier. The Caterpillar for moving cargo and being able to load quickly, because that's one of the other things that you guys all have to think about, is speed of loading the cargo. You don't want to be stuck in the target location for too long. And the Scorpius would also be up here as a heavy fighter, as an alternative heavy fighter. If, you know, for whatever reason you don't have an extra blue, you can grab a Scorpius and use that there. So that would go in the S tier. Now, when you come down to A tier, these ships are either supplementary or an alternative. So the Gladius is an alternative for the Arrow. The Hurricane, yeah, the Hurricane is an alternative to the Scorpius. So if you don't have a Scorpius, but you got a Hurricane, you can take the Hurricane. Now, Kitty, that's the Antares down here. That one there. That's not the regular Scorpius. Now, I know a lot of people are going to sit there and say, oh, this ship should be there, that ship should be there. And I'm going to tell you, son, not every ship, you know, is useful for piracy. And, you know, like, where is it? The Corsair? Sorry, yeah, right here. Unless your target is slow as fuck, it is useless for piracy. It has a lot of firepower, but your target needs to be slower than you. And the Corsair does not go that fast. Now, when we get master modes, the Corsair will bump up.
Yeah, it doesn't carry that much cargo, so like if you're using it as a prize ship, you'll only be able to take prizes that have the same amount or less cargo than the Corsair. Like, that would be the only practical use for it. Like, you can't use it as a fucking boarding ship because there's better alternatives. You can't use it as a fucking heavy fighter because, again, there's better alternatives. So, honestly, I would put this right in fucking B tier. Corsair in B tier.
I wouldn't even put it on the list.
For, like, utility.
Well,
Honestly, I might even
utility.
move down to C tier because it's like, eh.
Yeah. Like its utility, there's other ships that would be better. Like I would put an Emissar above the Corsair, which isn't
Honestly,
even on
one
this
ship
list.
that might be good is the fucking Pisces Medical. Again, like this would go under like A tier, it's like a luxury, but like being able to spawn a medical Pisces at a fucking at a outpost is actually pretty useful. And put that smack dab in A tier. What about the Starfarer agents? Another A
It's
tier
going
perhaps?
in C. No, I wouldn't put it as A tier.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, it'll probably bump up like when we can actually like properly siphon fuel out of it, or take the fuel pods off. But yeah,
I don't like this list that we don't have all the ships there. 'Cause there's stuff missing. Like, I'd be putting the MSR up in A tier for sure. The blade, somebody mentioned the blade, there it is. Yeah, that should also be up in A tier. And it's an alternative light fighter, so if you don't have an arrow or a gladius, you could go a blade. And it works.
and the
where
rest
else
of the
we
stuff
got?
on this list is just meh, like not really applicable to piracy at all.
Yeah, like, shall I bump the Starfarer up to B tier? This is one of those situations where it's like the Starfarer's utility, it's got two things going for it. If you use a Gemini, you got three. So the Starfarer, main thing, fuel, which can help out a lot, especially if you guys are all running crime stats. You can refuel in dead space. But it also carries 200 SCU of cargo. So you can't ignore that. And if you've got a Caterpillar and you bring a Starfarer along, you can pretty much cover a C2's worth of cargo. And if you're using a Gemini, it's got missiles. So you got an extra missile boat for defense. You're not going to be dogfighting with it. It's not going to be fast, but you know, a Gemini actually is quite potent from a firepower perspective.
Is the Hammerhead useless? Yeah. Yeah. Until we get master modes, the Hammerhead is probably going to remain like absolutely useless.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's ships that are missing from this list, and to be honest, I'd actually like to revisit this. Let's look at revisiting this next stream, because it's already 3.5 hours, and you do need to get some sleep. Like the Retaliator should actually be up here too, and I'd put it at B, because it's quite a potent gunboat. The A2 would go as B. And then, like, as we go down in, you know, the tiers, like, I would throw, where are we? Ground vehicles would be set as C. And...
Ground vehicles?
Yep. Because if you're locking down a place like Jumptown or something like that, you'd use ground vehicles.
Yeah.
So there is utility there.
For sure.
But like, yeah, I'd have a
ballista?
Centurion as well. Yeah, that's a ballista.
Dude, that's a fucking ballista, dude. Absolutely ballista. Honestly, I might bump the ballista up to fucking B tier because those are actually fucking deadly. Or like a high C tier.
I'll put it as B.
Ursa, definitely. Like, honestly, I would choose the Ursa over any of the other ground vehicles. Fucking rock. Like...
Well, sometimes we've used rocks in the past to finish...
Sometimes we have.
Extracting gems, but... Yeah.
But yeah, like, we don't use it right now, so I'd honestly just throw that in D tier, like a fucking rock. Obviously, all the EMP ships go in D tier immediately. Sorry.
Oh, I'm not even putting them up on the list. Like, a lot of people sleep on the Valkyrie, but it's actually not a bad piracy ship, especially if you're doing grand assaults.
Dude. I love the Valkyrie, dude. I really do love the Valkyrie. Cutlass Red, fucking D tier. No one fucking uses that shit anymore.
Its utility for being able to heal puts it up one.
Yeah, but again, it's not better than the fucking medical Pisces though. It's just not. Like,
well, it's not.
Again,
that's why the medical Pisces is an A, and you've got the Cutlass Red in C tier. Although that said, the Cutlass Red has more firepower, better quantum drive. It has 2 medical beds that are tier 3, whereas the Pisces only has 1.
Yeah, but the Pisces has the ability of being able to be spawned at outposts, which comes in more of a pinch than, especially if you have crime stats. Like if you're rocking with crime stats, that's a big plus.
So the reason why the Andromeda is in C tier is because there are other ships that you would choose over it before you'd consider using it for piracy ops. Like what the Connie has going for it is firepower, a bit of cargo carrying capacity, but the problem that you're going to have is its speed is low. That's one of the things, like when you're choosing ships for piracy, you're after speed, firepower, and a level of utility from it. And the more that you can extract out of those 3 points, the more likely you're going to use a specific type of ship for piracy. So, you know, like that's why the Cutlass Blue is, you know, sits so high, is because it has all 3. You know, the Mantis has the speed, especially after, you know, like in 318 when it got its maximum speed increased. Its utility comes from its ability to do snaring and dampening. And its firepower is lacking, but the speed and QED is really what pushes it up into the S tier. Like it's the only ship that can, you know, pull ships out of quantum travel. So it immediately makes it S tier, but it doesn't put it above, you know, the Cutlass Blue. Because you can do piracy with a Mantis, but if you end up like hitting a small cargo hauler, you hit any cargo hauler, you're limited on how many boxes you can fit into that thing. Whereas the Blue, it's limited, but you've got a lot more options. Yeah, like the S tier, and this is something that I'm working on internally for Mongol Squad as well, and it'll look a little bit similar to this, although the tier listing will be named differently, because I don't believe in this S, A, B, C, whatever. The Scorpius is up here as well, so there's 5 ships really that you would use for piracy. You got the Blue, Mantis, Arrow, or a light fighter. So it could be Arrow, Gladius, or Blade. Right now the Arrow's winning out because it's got the stealth it's got a better stealth capability than the Gladius and the Blade.
Stealth? Heck W.
Stealth still factors in, especially if it's passive. Passive stealth for an Arrow is actually better than the Blade and the Gladius.
Definitely the Gladius.
And yeah, the Arrow is also cheap. Firepower and maneuverability is actually good too. The Caterpillar purely for its utility of being able to load multiple pods at once. It's also got decent firepower. Adrian would take the C2 as a prize ship just because of the ridiculous cargo size and it's nimble and fast. The ship's speed only matters if you plan on running away from targets, if you know that you're going to get hit a lot and you're by yourself. The problem that you got with a C2 is how long it takes to load. Even if you got multiple people in there trying to load, it still takes a long time. So if you can divide the labor up between multiple people to reduce the amount of time that you're spending loading, you're always going to go for that. Like even in a C2, you're still limited by how many people you can have loading there. Like we've come up with a system where we can have 2 people loading in a C2, but if you've hit one ship and you're transferring boxes from one ship to the C2, then you're only going to be able to load through one of the doors, which means that the amount of people who are placing boxes down reduces. If you can use both, entrances, so, rear and front, you can get away with using 4. But even then, like, you need to make sure that those people are experienced. Whereas with a Caterpillar, it's just one person per pod, and it doesn't matter if they're not that experienced with moving and stacking boxes because they're by themselves and it's really hard to fuck it. Whereas if you got 2 people working in the C2's cargo grid, they actually have to be quite coordinated with each other and understand, like the process that they need to go through. So loading from middle to edges and making sure that they're building their rows up and then they start their next one. And if they don't do it right and they end up clipping a box into the ship, which is has a higher chance in a C2 than you have in a Caterpillar, then you're going to lose the entire ship. Like there's advantages and disadvantages. Like here's the thing, if you don't have a Caterpillar, grab a C2. It'll work. Like it'll do what you need it to do. Like a lot of the times, especially for the Oceanic time zone, we don't have a C2. So, correction, we don't have a Caterpillar. So we'll grab a C2 or I'll grab my M2 and we'll load that up. And then we'll fit whatever boxes we can into a Cutlass Blue, or we'll grab an MSR. So an MSR would also be sitting in A tier as well, but it's not in the list here. And that's one of the things, is like, there's no one size fits all ship for piracy. And we also don't buy into the ridiculous notion that, because a ship's marketed towards piracy, that's what it's got to be used for. Like, we're all about, the utility of a ship. Speed, firepower, utility. Those 3 things matter a lot in piracy. And if it doesn't, for, a ship to get into S tier, it needs to have a lot of one of those things and, a fair bit of the other 2. But yeah, like, I think we'll come back to this next week and use a ship list that has a lot more there. But this is pretty much what the tier list is. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this ship list, man. There's a whole heap of ships missing. The Cutlass Black is a fantastic utility ship. Like if there's a ship that you want to upgrade after your starter ship, go with Cutlass Black. Alrighty. Guys, thank you very much for coming along for tonight, or today's stream.
This morning.
It's a long one. It's a long one. And Gilded's full of notifications for me that I'm going to ignore because I need to go to sleep.
Why is Caterpillar above C2? What does this blasphemy? Fuck you, Velian.
Were you
There's
not
a reason
listening?
for it.
You can scrub back in the stream and read why. But yeah, thank you very much for coming along for this stream, guys. Really appreciate all your support. Next stream next week is going to be probably same time, same place. We'll probably look at redoing the tier list as well. That said, though, what you saw was pretty close to what we're going to be doing. What we would recommend anyway. Depending on how things go in 3.19 when that goes live, that list may change again. But the fundamentals of what you require out of ships for piracy don't change. And that's part of the reason why the list would change every patch. So, yeah, I really don't have anything else to say other than I'm going to call it a night. Dobbs, say bye, Dobbs.
Bye, everybody!
Alright, we'll catch us all next week. And maybe there'll be a video, depends on Dobbs. Or, you know, I get some time and manage to get a video out myself. But we're done. That's it. Thank you very much for coming along. Bye.